So if you haven't yet, it's time you tried it. As we know it, tennis has been around since the mid-1800s when two friends, Harry Jim and Agario Pereira, developed the game on Pereira's lawn in England. The first tennis club was created soon after in 1872 and had just 4 members at the beginning of its existence. Today is Play Tennis Day. It's also National Banana Bread Day. On this Thursday, February the 23rd edition of The Joe Show. 238 WHIR is the phone number to call in this morning. 238-9447. We'd love to have you on the radio this morning here on The Joe Show. And as always, we start off the show every morning, Mondays through Fridays, with a playing of our national anthem. It is brought to you by Bob Allen Motor Mall and the Hometown Radio Network. The Star Spangled Banner. Here it is. There you go, the National Anthem brought to you by Bob Allen Motor Mall and the Hometown Radio Network. Let's do our birthday party thing for those celebrating on this Thursday, February the 23rd. A birthday party shout-out goes to these people, and we got quite a few of them. Here we go.
Happy birthday, happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday.
All right, Sarah Berry having a birthday today. Happy birthday to Sarah. Cody Johnson, Elaine Collins, Jeff Hoskins, William LaFew, Rachel Followell, Julie Popowell, Chris Page, and Madison Johnson.
Birthday, happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday.
And that's the way it works. 238-9447, 238-WHIR. 9 names on this morning's birthday list. It's a Thursday. It's February the 23rd, typical Thursday morning show that we have lined up for you. And it starts off this morning in about an hour as Boyle County State Representative Daniel Elliott will join us this morning. We'll talk with Daniel about what's going on there in the state capitol at 7:10 this morning here on the show. 7:20, Danville girls basketball coach Judy Mason will join us. It's the Admirals versus the Warriors, Danville versus DCA in the 45th District Girls Basketball Championship game tonight. Now remember, all you have to do is make it to the district championship and you automatically move on to the region tournament, which is the next step, right? Then after the region's the state tournament. So Danville, just by way of being in this game, is already in the region. So the high-pressure game is off the table. They already took care of business easily the other night against Lincoln County. Now they got DCA, and the same thing for DCA. High-pressure game is off the table, but you want to be district champions, right? So it hypothetically and theoretically gives you a better draw in the region tournament in that first-round game. So we'll see what happens tonight. Should be a fun one. We'll talk with Coach Mason at 7:20. 8:20. 7:40, it's Jessica Besson who gives us a lesson this morning. It's the County Agent's Corner, brought to you by Bluegrass South Livestock Market. We'll have Jessica on here this morning at 7:40. In the 8 o'clock hour this morning, 8:20, Randy's got Randyisms. The thoughts of Randy Graham and Randy Graham's thoughts, Tuesdays and Thursdays right here on the Joe Show on WHIR. James the Gardener on here at 8:40, giving us a Gardening with James tip. And in the 9 o'clock hour this morning, 9:10, we have got Boyle County Judge Executive Trilly Bottom, who will join us this morning on the show. We'll talk with Trilly about what's going on here locally in the county. Good news is the Parksville Boil Water Advisory for those in the Parksville Water District has been lifted now. So no more boil water advisory. That was something that has been essentially a thorn in people's side there that are Parksville Water Department customers since last Thursday, I think, is when we had that heavy rain. So glad to have that news, and we'll have Trilly on this morning. I'm sure she'll have a lot to talk about when it comes to that. And at 9:35, we're excited to welcome onto the show Congressman James Comer, going to be on here. Congressman Comer, who actually made a stop in Danville last week. And we'll talk with Congressman Comer this morning via telephone. And, of course, he is the one that is heading up the kind of the coronavirus investigation committee in Congress. And so I'm sure he'll have a lot to say about that. And we'll ask him about some local issues as well. Congressman James Comer will be on here this morning at 9:35. That's the rundown of today's show. We'd love to have you part of it. The number to dial in is 238-9447. That's 238-WHIR. It's 6:18. Let's start you off this morning, as we always do, with a look at early morning sports. And I believe, I need to send the sports around real quick before we get to that. Now let's take a look at the early morning sports. Big win for the Cats last night. Kentucky gets a big win over Florida. A former WKU head football coach hired by the Ravens, and a career-high 41 for an Alabama player in turmoil. Those are the headlines in this Thursday morning. I'm Joe Mathis, guiding you through these Thursday morning sports. Starting off in UK basketball, where Oscar Tshiebwe scored 25 points. Jacob Toppin had 19 and 11, and Kentucky beat Florida 82-74 last night for its third straight win, and another big one for the Cats. Toppin closing a 15-4 run with a three-pointer and a fast break dunk to give Kentucky a 74-63 lead with 3:43 left, but Florida scored the next 9 points, including 6 free throws, the last by Kyle Lofton with 112. Chris Livingston ended Kentucky's nearly 3-minute scoring drought on a three-point play with 49.1 seconds left. Florida missed a shot in the lane, and Toppin sealed it with 2 free throws. Antonio Reeves added 16 points. Chris Livingston had a monster game, 10 points and 15 rebounds for Kentucky. Tshiebwe, who went 12 of 13 from the field, banked in a jumper in the first half to reach 1,000 career points, the 61st in program history to do so. Cats win. They're now 19-9. In the NFL, former college coach Willie Taggart is on his way to the NFL sidelines. The Baltimore Ravens on Wednesday hired the longtime college coach as their running backs coach. T. Martin was also named the team's quarterbacks coach, moving over from his role as wide receivers coach. Taggart, a former head coach at Western Kentucky University, amongst other places like Florida State, Oregon, South Florida, and Florida Atlantic. He was relieved of his duties at Florida Atlantic last November. He compiled a 71-80 overall record in 13 years as a college head coach. In college basketball, number 2 Alabama as a whole clearly didn't look like itself against South Carolina. It's not surprising considering the program was at the center of attention in the sports world the past 2 days. The Crimson Tide often play without its usual energy and edge that has led to it being a top team, especially early in the game. Despite being out of sorts at times, Alabama still emerged a 78-76 win over the Gamecocks of South Carolina in overtime yesterday, thanks to a dominant effort from Brandon Miller, who scored a career-high 41 points. The game was played one day after a police investigation testified during a preliminary bond hearing for former Alabama player Darius Miller and Michael Davis that Miller had been at the scene of a fatal shooting on the Tuscaloosa Strip on January 15th, and he was the one that brought the gun to the scene. One day later, he scored 41 points. And in the 46th District semifinals last night, Mercer County beat East Chespin 67-64 to move on to the 46th championship. In the 45th District tournament, Lincoln County over Danville in overtime 55-51, and Boyle County over Garrett County. That means the Patriots and the Rebels will play Friday night in the boys' 45th District championship in Lincoln County. Those are the headlines in this Thursday morning. I'm Joe Mathis for the Hometown Radio Network.
Did you know that WHIR AM 1230 is the talk of the town? We're not spreading gossip. We're just letting you know where the best talk radio is found all day, every day. Mornings begin with Danville's own Joe Mathis and The Joe Show.
Hey, this is Joe Mathis.
Wake up to what you missed. News, weather, sports, and local guests. Followed by Kentucky Sports Radio with Matt Jones.
Welcome, everyone. Kentucky Sports Radio. I'm Matt Jones.
Then, the man who has an opinion about everything, Tomas Mauricio.
I'm Tomas Mauricio. I invite you to tune in.
Starting at noon with Advocates for America. Then at 3, it's the best-known name in news, Sean Hannity.
Join me, Sean Hannity, on WHIR.
Then, Joe Pag starts off weekday evenings at 6 with his take on the day's news, mixed with his fun parody songs about the news.
Hey, it's Joe Pag on WHIR.
Afterwards, at 10, it's the unique world of John B. Wells on WHIR with his Caravan to Midnight show.
This is John B. Wells, WHIR, AM 1230 and FM 103.9.
These guys have a lot to say, and they'll be glad to have you join them every weekday on your home for news, talk, sports. AM 1230, WHIR, the talk of the town.
Would you like to receive a free gift? Refer a friend or family member to Farmers National Bank and receive your free gift. It's simple. Visit the bank's website at fnbky.com. And when your friend opens a Farmers National Bank checking account, you receive a free gift. Stop by a Farmers National Bank office in Danville, Bergen, Harrodsburg, Junction City, Lancaster, Liberty, Middleburg, Perryville, and Stanford. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, it's Joe Pags. Make plans to join us for the show. We're bringing the top news stories that are affecting you, the top stories from social media, pop culture stories, could be in sports. Maybe we'll sing a song or two or three or make fun of somebody that you want us to make fun of. That plus, of course, a big part of the program is you calling in. Look, we can agree, we can debate, we can yell at each other, we can sing a song together. We do it all right here on the Joe Pags Show, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 on WHIR AM 1230 and online at hometownlive.net.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
It's brought to you by Cattleman's Roadhouse and ADA Heated and Air. Trust ADA to be there when you need them the most. ADA is on the way. Call them 859-519-6382. And that's how you get in touch with ADA Heating and Air. Mostly sunny, a high today of 76. A low tonight of 36. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 50. On Saturday, cloudy and 55. Sunday, cloudy and 59 is your high. Right now, it's 6:25 in the morning. And we are looking at 60 degrees right here in Danville. 238-9447 is the phone number to call in this morning, 238-WHIR, as we take a look at the celebrity side of things and those celebrities having birthdays on this Thursday, February the 23rd. And here's how our celebrity birthday list looks. First of all, happy 40th birthday today to actress Emily Blunt. She's been in the movies Into the Woods, Mary Poppins Returns, The Huntsman, Winter's War, The Winter's War. Kind of hard two words to say back to back. The Huntsman, Winter's War, and The Girl on the Train, as well as The Devil Wears Prada. Here's a clip from the movie Into the Woods. Emily Blunt is 40 years old today.
You've got the cape.
What have you done with the cow?
She ran away.
What?
Never even reached home. I've been looking for her all night.
How could you?
Well, she might just as easily have run away from you.
There you go. 42 years old today for American actor and voice actor Josh Gad. He's been in the movies Frozen, who plays Olaf, I think it's Olaf, in that movie Frozen, The Comedians, and A Dog's Purpose. Here's a clip from the movie Frozen 2. Josh Gad, 42 years old today.
Ice pellets for one! Ice pellets for one! Get out, Anna! Pew, pew, my heart!
Oh, my goodness. Only an act of true love can save you. Here's a true love's kiss.
You're not worth it!
There you go. 42 years old today for Josh Gad. 60 years old for baseball legend Bobby Bonilla. He participated in 6 All-Star games. He won 3 Silver Slugger Awards. And get this, from 1992 to 94, he was the highest paid player in baseball. How much do you think he made? Well, about $6 million a year. Bonilla is currently being paid approximately $1.19 million by the New York Mets each year. This was a part of a deal when the Mets released Bonilla before the 2000 season while still owing him $5.9 million for the final year of his contract. The deal expires in 2035, at which point Bonilla would have been paid $29.8 million by the Mets for a season that he didn't even play. Bobby Bonilla, 60 years old today. And the late author and activist E.B. Du Bois would have had a birthday today as well. He was the first African-American to receive a doctorate from Harvard. Among his famous quotes, "The problem of the 20th century is the problem of the color line, and the cost of liberty is less than the price of repression." Those are the celebrities having birthdays on this Thursday, February the 23rd, right here on The Joe Show.
This day in country music.
Well, thank you there, Mr. Voice. It was on this date, country music history, in the year 1972 in Dallas, Texas. Steve Holy was born. He has a couple of number one hits, Good Morning Beautiful, which was featured in the movie Angel Eyes, and Brand New Girlfriend. It was on this date, 1978, the 20th Annual Grammy Awards, hosted by John Denver, were held. Crystal Gayle, big-time winner at those 1978 Grammy Awards. And it was on this date in 2010, Jimmy Dean inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. And that's what's gone on this date, February the 23rd, in country music history. Starting off on this day, 1972, where Steve Holy was born in Dallas, Texas. He had pretty much two opposite songs, right? Good Morning Beautiful, you wake up, you're in love, you're loving your life with the woman in your life that you're living your life with. Good Morning Beautiful, how was your night? And then a song called Brand New Girlfriend, where he got a brand new girlfriend. Here's Steve Holy.
And I did what any gentleman would do.
Having a birthday today.
I got a brand new girlfriend. We went and jumped off the deep end. Flew out to LA for the weekend. Spent the whole day lying on the beach.
There you go, Steve Holy having a birthday. Born on this date, 1972. 51 years old for Steve Holy, the Dallas, Texas native.
I think I'm on to something, because I feel just like a kid again. I got a brand new girlfriend. I love it when she calls me Buttercup. She laughs
and very quickly, it was on this day, country music history in the year 2010. Jimmy Dean, yes, the Sausage Man, but also the Country Music Hall of Fame, are inducted on this date in the Hall of Fame in 1961. Jimmy Dean. Oh, this is his biggest song, Big Bad John.
Every morning at the mine, you can see
famous as the creator of the sausage brand, Billy Sherrill, Don Williams, Ferlin Husky, all inducted on that same day as well with Jimmy Dean in 2010. The Big John. It's 6:30 in the morning. Our bottom hour news with the Kentucky News Network is coming your way right now on The Joe Show.
Big Bad John.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
The Kentucky House has passed a bill that would make Kentucky a Second Amendment sanctuary state. With more is Paul Miles.
Sponsored by Republican Representative Josh Bray, the measure would prohibit the enforcement of a federal ban or regulation of guns and ammunition.
Why this is so important is it ensures our fellow Kentuckians that the city police, the sheriffs, or the state police aren't going to roll up and enforce this unconstitutional ban.
Voicing opposition is Democrat Josie Raymond.
When we pass legislation that salutes guns over the lives of Kentuckians, we're making it known who we really serve. This is lunacy, Mr. Speaker. This is idiocy, and I vote no.
The measure now goes to the Senate. A similar bill was introduced last year. It passed the House but died in the Senate. I'm Paul Miles.
Fearing a bill to curb gender transition would be fast-tracked through a Kentucky House Judiciary Committee hearing without it being placed on the agenda, several LGBTQ+ activists showed up in Frankfort Wednesday. Jonathan Lowe is the father of a 16-year-old transgender child currently receiving such treatment. He tells WLKY-TV,
I actually think it will result in many child suicides because gender-affirming care is actually health care and helps young people who are transgender be comfortable in their bodies, be happy in their bodies.
HB 470 would prohibit anyone from providing gender transition services to anyone under the age of 18. Juneteenth could soon be recognized as a state holiday in Kentucky. Senator Gerald Neal filing Senate Bill 270 in Frankfort. It comes a year after Neal tried and failed to get similar legislation passed. I'm Sean McCormick.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Did you know there's only one full-service jewelry store in 5 counties? And it's not at the mall, and it's not a national chain or any box store. I'm talking about B&L Jewelers right here in the Danville Manor Shopping Center. This is Lauren. Our prices and quality cannot be matched, and everything you purchase from B&L Jewelers is backed by a free lifetime guarantee. The mall and department store folks make big money selling their guarantees to folks who don't know about us. We offer full services that can't be matched by anyone. Any type of jewelry repair or remount, or just answers to simple questions from a real jeweler on site right here in our store. We know that your jewelry is precious to you, so we do all of our repairs in-house and in an average of 3 days. We can take care of all your engraving needs, from simple plaques to major corporate logos, even those champagne or wine bottles for those special occasions, all done here by your trusted jeweler. We believe in treating our clients like friends, not like customers. We have a free 6-month layaway. We offer up to 60 months financing, 12 months same as cash financing, no credit check financing available as well. Why would you go anywhere else? B&L Jewelers is the only intelligent choice for all your jewelry needs.
The Parthenon, Greek, American, eats, dine in, or take out. Fresh from our family, fresh Mediterranean and American. A gathering place, always a treat. Specialty gyros, great burgers and fries. Whatever you're craving will satisfy. The Parthenon, Greek, American, eats, dine in, or take out. Fresh from our family.
In Danville, Lexington Road.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, Cartown Kia has you covered. If you have a job taking home over $350 a week, we have over 20 lenders that want to approve you. So shop and save with confidence.
Take home a 2018 Kia Optima or a 2022 Kia Rio. Just $88 down and $299 per month.
Come see us at Cartown Kia and CartownKiaUSA.com.
Example, 2018 Kia Optima and 2022 Kia Rio. Only select in stock makes and models with approved credit. $88 payment, $299 per month plus tax, title, license, stock, and acquisition fees. Subject to prior sale, loss, supplies last. Price may not include dealer added options. See dealer for details.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. The huge little cherub sale is back again and will begin a week from tomorrow. Danville's only for-charity consignment sale will feature items from over 160 consigners, summer clothes, shoes, toys, games, feeding supplies, bath supplies, household items, pretty much anything you would need for a child from birth to the teenage years. It's Friday and Saturday, March 3rd and 4th at Centenary United Methodist Church in Danville. Ephraim McDowell Wellness Center is offering swim lessons and lifeguarding lessons, starting with group swim lessons. The first session will be Monday, March 20th through Thursday, March 30th. The second session, Monday, April 10th, and conclude on April 20th. Each lesson is 45 minutes long, and you can choose to attend the 4, 5, or 6 o'clock classes those nights. Meanwhile, for those looking to be certified in lifeguarding, that training will begin March the 1st. For questions, contact Carla Kurtzinger at 859-936-7219. A local band has been nominated for a Lexington Music Award. The band, named Taylor Road, is up for the Best Rock Band, Best Metal Band, and their lead guitarist, Stephen Lynch, is up for the Ben Lacey Guitarist Award for Excellence. Taylor Road features Danville natives Cam Davis and Jackson Ward, and Harrodsburg natives Stephen Lynch and Braden Pike. They were named after the garage where the band started on Taylor Road. The Lexington Music Award show will take place on March the 5th at the Lyric Theater and Cultural Arts Center. After a 2-year break to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Arts Commission of Danville and Boyle County is returning to in-person theater. The first play up is a play written by local playwright Liz Orndorff called The Tipping Point. It follows the story of a young man who faces challenges and was written as a way to talk with students about their decision-making. The plays will happen for Boyle students at the Performing Arts Center at Boyle County Middle School and for Danville students at Gravely Hall, and a public performance for people at Centerworks. That performance is actually tonight at 7 o'clock at the Centerworks building on the top floor of the Hub in Danville. The first alcohol license in the city has been given out. The KC News is reporting the 5-star convenience store on Liberty's Wallace Wilkinson Boulevard was the first to receive a license for the sale of alcoholic beverages within the city of Liberty. The sale of alcohol from that place makes it the first time anyone has ever been able to legally sell alcohol within Casey County. The county had been dry and remained dry since Prohibition. The city of Liberty went wet following the November vote, where about 60% of the Liberty voters voted in favor of turning the city wet. I'm Joe Mathis.
Hello, this is Beth Coyle from your local Medicine Shop Pharmacy. If you have a cough or cold, we have the relief. When suffering from a nasty cough or seasonal cold, the next best thing to a hot bowl of soup is a visit to your locally owned Medicine Shop Pharmacy. We'll provide the comfort you are seeking by talking with you about your symptoms and recommending the proper over-the-counter medications to ease your discomfort. Plus, we will fill the cough and cold prescriptions prescribed by your doctor promptly and carefully. The Medicine Shop also provides many services that will help you out, like free delivery in Danville, free weekly medication packaging, and we will work with your insurance company to make sure you receive maximum benefits from your plan. Now, don't you feel better? Stop by today to discover a friendly, knowledgeable pharmacy staff that cares about you and your community. We have fast, friendly service in store. We also have free delivery in Danville, and you can order online at medicineshop.com. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy at 900 Houstonville Road in Danville. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, and Saturday, 9 to noon. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, caring beyond prescriptions.
Doug DNC Small Engine to repair on all ATVs, side-by-sides. Also, I'll get your chainsaws sharpened, serviced. We're ready for the winter. Cut up that firewood. We're open 8 to 4:30 Monday through Friday. Located 1125 Stanford Road. DNC Small Engine. It's a reminder, too, also that we are offering auto and truck tires. We'll get you serviced and ready for the winter. Come see us for the best prices around and best service. 1125 Stanford Road. DNC Small Engine. 859-209-2615. 209-2615. Doug DNC Small Engine. Come see us.
The Hometown Radio Network sports broadcast schedule brought to you by Monticello Bank. Girls District Championship action tonight in the 45th. It is DCA versus Danville. 7 o'clock tip-off tonight. A game we'll have on Z105, WRNZ FM. In the 46th District Championship, it's Mercer County versus West Chessman. 7 o'clock tip-off for that one. We'll have it on 99.5 FM, WHBM. Then the Boys District Championships are tomorrow. Mercer versus West in the 46th. Boyle versus Lincoln in the 45th. Those games also on the Hometown Radio Network.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
It's brought to you by our friends over at the HVAC Outlet right here in Danville. They're offering the best ductless mini splits that you can install yourself, or they can help you with installation. They're going for one of the largest distributors in Kentucky. They also have heat pumps with 10-year parts warranties, financing available. Call before you buy anywhere else and get the outlet price. The HVAC Outlet in Danville, 209-1112. Mostly sunny, a high today, 76. A low tonight, 36, sunshine tomorrow, and a high of 50 on Saturday, 55 on Sunday, 60. Right now it's 6:39 in the morning, and it is 58 degrees right here in Danville. 238-9447 is your phone number to call in this morning, 238-WHIR. We'd love to have you on the radio this morning here on The Joe Show. Larry Vaught giving us Vaught's Views. What's up with Larry V today?
Vaught's Views on University of Kentucky Sports is on the air, featuring 7-time Kentucky Sports Writer of the Year, Larry Vaught.
University of Kentucky athletes earn a lot of national awards and certainly deserve those and should be proud of them. However, to me, one of the best awards any Kentucky student athlete can receive is to be selected for induction into the Frank G. Ham Society of Character, like 22 athletes were this season. The Society of Character annually honors Wildcats who have shown an extraordinary commitment to academic excellence, athletic participation, personal development, career preparation, and serving as a role model. I wish I had the time to tell you about all 22 student athletes picked for this honor, but I'm going to just concentrate on a few of my favorites. Start with golfer Jensen Castle, who won the 2021 U.S. Women's Amateur, the first time any UK player had done that, and has the top 2 single scoring averages in program history. However, she's also an honor student and has found a way to help others during her time at UK.
Vaught's Views will return in a moment.
Come experience the beauty and regality of world champion horses from 12 different states at the Pennyroyal Charity Horse Show to benefit Pennyroyal Hospice. It's March 3rd and 4th at Oak Grove Racing Gaming and Hotel. Admission is only $5, so come for one night or make it a weekend getaway. Enjoy the show and all the activities at Oak Grove Racing and Gaming Equestrian Center. To learn more, search the Pennyroyal 2023 on Facebook.
Football player Eli Cox was picked for the Frank Ham Society of Character, in part because he's been on the SEC Football Leadership Council. Softball player Kayla Kowalik has been one of the nation's best hitters the last 2 years, but has constantly found time to work with and inspire young softball players. Diver Kendall Knight is a 4-time NCAA qualifier. I could go on and on. Just know, as good as they are at their sports, they might be even better people away from their sports.
Find more from Larry at yoursportsedge.com.
Larry Vaught's Views, Mondays through Fridays in the Joe Show at this time on this Thursday, February the 23rd. 238-9447 to call in and be a part of the show this morning. President Joe Biden recently appeared to fall down the stairs of Air Force One. Did you see the video of that? That's caused some concern for, these companies that advertise for, like, senior health, like Life Alert. If you fall, you hit the button, and Life Alert comes and saves you. What about Joe Alert? President Joe Biden may need some Joe Alert. Check out this ad for this new company.
Are you a president who keeps falling down the stairs of Air Force One? Then you need Joe Alert, the alert system that you wear around your neck and alert medics whenever you fall down the stairs of Air Force One.
Joe Alert, what seems to be the problem?
All men and women created by you know the thing.
Come again?
For people that bad at health care.
Is this Joe Biden again?
I got hairy legs.
You fell down the stairs of Air Force One again, didn't you?
That turned blonde in the sun.
We'll send somebody out there right away. Again.
Come on, man.
Joe Alert. Call for help anytime you fall down the stairs of Air Force One. Available now.
There you go, Joe Alert. Let's see what's going on in this morning's World of Good. Are you tired of the gloom and doom that saturates your daily news? Well, of course you are, and I am right there with you. These stories right here remind us of the silver lining in the cloud over all of our heads. My way of sharing the good news with you, and hopefully you'll go do the same for somebody else. Here's Floyd Kramer. Little good news action for you on this Thursday morning, and here we go. Story number one. West Hempstead High School on Long Island there in New York announced last week that twin sisters Gloria and Victoria Guerrera had earned the valedictorian and salutatorian spots at the school. The fraternal twins have never received less than a 100% in any class in their high school career. I'm not sure how that's possible. They excelled in multiple sports, took part in various extracurricular activities, and were leaders in their community. The thing that seems impossible to me is that 100% means you never made a mistake, ever. And they didn't do that in any of their classes. They'll both be attending Yale University and majoring in artificial intelligence, but after 17 years of being roommates, they said no, they want to live separately. Number two, this past weekend, firefighters from Charlotte Fire Department answered the call to save a newlywed couple and 4 members of their wedding party stuck in an uptown hotel elevator. Panav and Victoria Jaw were taking the elevator to their reception after just getting married when it got stuck between floors, prompting the fire department to come and rescue them. The Jaws missed seeing their guests because of the delay. Panav says they have a memorable story to tell one day about their wedding day to their children, and hopefully the venue gave some of their money back as well. You can have your wedding party. You can't have the bride and groom paying for this, or at least their families are, stuck in an elevator and not give them a little bit of a refund. You just can't do it. Story number 3, going to Texas, where to mark the 1 year of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Leica Cheesecake and Espresso in San Antonio is once again holding a fundraiser to benefit the armed forces of Ukraine. We told you about this last year, if you remember back to last year. Anna Afansieva, the Ukrainian-American owner of the Texas Cheesecake Shop that raised over $72,000 for Ukraine. Earlier this week, they posted on social media announcing this weekend's fundraiser and pledging to donate every dollar they bring in on Friday and Saturday to the Ukrainian army. Good news, the Texas Cheesecake Shop donating profits to Ukraine. North Carolina firefighters rescue a bride and groom trapped in an elevator, and twin sisters become valedictorian and salutatorian of a New York school. And that's what's going on in this morning's World of Absolute Good. It's 6:45 in the morning. We've got sports coming your way right now here on The Joe Show on 103.9 FM, WHIR Danville News Talk Sports. It's NASCAR news, and it's coming your way soon.
always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Jimmy's looking not just at what's going to happen this year, but he's trying to lay a foundation.
I did not get sick during the ride, but I did take a little nap.
Could have hit that maybe a second or two sooner. I would have gave that guy half the purse.
Mark Garrow and PRN's Garage Pass.
Hey, Pack Rat. Yeah, you. Are you moving cross-country and you just don't know who to call? Call us right now. Listen, you've probably seen one of our containers in your neighborhood. But did you know that we can help you move anywhere in the United States? It's real simple. We'll drop a container off at the location you tell us to bring it to. You pack up your valuable possessions at your leisure, and when you're ready, call us. We'll come and pick up the container and give you a scheduled date of when your furniture and the other possessions will be at your new home. So if you're moving across country or across town, be a Pack Rat. Call Pack Rat right now for your free quote. See y'all later, Pack Rats.
800-876-3515. 800-876-3515. 800-876-3515. That's 800-876-3515.
The newly named Legacy Motor Club is owned by Maury Gallagher and his new partner Jimmy Johnson, with Richard Petty having been bought out, being listed now as the team's ambassador. Well, the King caused a little bit of a stir in Daytona when he said he agreed with only 50% of what Johnson was doing with the organization, and said this when asked if it bothered him.
Yes, it does, okay? Because done things my way, which hadn't been too good lately. And as I progress and time progresses and things change in the world, then it's probably time for a change. Again, Jimmy's looking not just at what's going to happen this year, but he's trying to lay a foundation for 4 or 5 years, because he's still young enough that he's going to be around for a long, long time.
Speaking of Johnson, while in Daytona, he got to take a ride with the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds.
I did not get sick during the ride, so that was super good. But I did take a little nap. We pulled 9.1 G, and I blacked out. I came to, sitting in the back, wondering where I was, what was going on. And then I could hear somebody saying, Jimmy, Jimmy, Jimmy. And it got loud, and I'm like, yeah. So, hey, you're back. I think you took a nap. I said, I believe I did. No clue where I am or what I'm doing right now. So that was wild.
Before the pit stop, Tony Stewart will return to the Fox TV booth this weekend in Fontana. But for the second year in a row, Danica Patrick will take on the job for both Las Vegas and Phoenix.
At Progressive, we love sports and saving you money, so we bundled them together.
Top of the 7th looks like a pitching change as they've set up for a corner kick. The two black belts have entered the mat. And the slider is low and away. He heads the ball to midfield. This is quite a kumite. Here comes the roundhouse. Has it got enough gas to get out of here? Unbelievable. They've bundled their home and auto insurance with Progressive. Kick savings pitch karate.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
On what turned out to be the final lap of this year's Daytona 500, Joey Logano briefly was out front, but Ricky Stenhouse Jr. had barely snuck by just after cars began crashing into each other and the yellow flag that ended the race came out. It left Logano laughing about how he could have made the NASCAR race director a very rich man.
When they wrecked, I was leading. When the caution came, I said, whoever's up there wasn't quick enough on the trigger. He could have hit that maybe a second or two sooner. I would have gave that guy half the purse. So I gave him the whole damn thing, actually.
Mark Garrow and PRN's Garage Pass, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. For a job you'll love, visit progressive.com/careers.
Did you know that WHIR AM 1230 is the talk of the town? We're not spreading gossip. We're just letting you know where the best talk radio is found all day, every day. Mornings begin with Danville's own Joe Mathis and The Joe Show.
Hey, this is Joe Mathis.
Wake up to what you missed. News, weather, sports, and local guests. Followed by Kentucky Sports Radio with Matt Jones.
Welcome, everyone. Kentucky Sports Radio. I'm Matt Jones.
Then, the man who has an opinion about everything, Tomas Mauricio.
I'm Tomas Mauricio. I invite you to tune in.
Starting at noon with Advocates for America. Then at 3, it's the best-known name in news, Sean Hannity.
Join me, Sean Hannity, on WHIR.
Then, Joe Pag starts off weekday evenings at 6 with his take on the day's news, mixed with his fun parody songs about the news.
Hey, it's Joe Pag on WHIR.
Afterwards, at 10, it's the unique world of John B. Wells on WHIR with his Caravan to Midnight show.
This is John B. Wells, WHIR, AM 1230 and FM 103.9.
These guys have a lot to say, and they'll be glad to have you join them every weekday on your home for news, talk, sports. AM 1230, WHIR, the talk of the town.
It's all about you and Stuart Powell.
Hi, this is Fred Sizemore, General Manager of Stuart Powell Ford, Lincoln, and Mazda, 225 South Danville Bypass here in Danville. And for the first time in 3 years, we have new Fords on our lot ready to go home with you. Please stop by and see our selection. We are offering these at invoice pricing or shop online at stuartpowell.com.
Make your people happy because we know how. It's an easy thing to do in Danville. Stuart Powell.
Ford, Lincoln, Mazda. Big changes are coming to the HVAC industry.
The minimum efficiency rating of equipment is increasing nationwide.
If your HVAC system is more than 8 years old, or if you would like a quote on upgrading your current system, call ADA Heating and Air.
Upgrading to a new, more efficient system now will save you money immediately on your utility bills and may qualify you for tax credits in 2023.
Call ADA Heating and Air for a free estimate.
ADA's on the way.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
It's brought to you by our friends. They're over there at Danville Auto Body Shop. Top-of-the-line collision and auto body repair. Head to the mechanics at 315 Delahaye Street. Call ahead for an appointment, 236-2299. That's 236-2299, Danville Auto Body Shop. Sunshine, a high today of 76, a low tonight of 36, a 40-degree difference in the high and low today. Tomorrow, 50's the high, Saturday, 55, and Sunday, 60. Right now, 6:54 in the morning, 59 degrees right here in Danville, 238-9447, 238-WHIR, the phone number to call in this morning. We'd love to have you on the radio. Starting you off this segment, it's Silliness at Sunrise with Ricky D's and the Planet of the Apps. Welcome.
Welcome to the Planet of the Apps.
All right, in the Planet of the Apps today, how about BeatStars? If you ever wanted to create your own song, I did a few times, got lucky. BeatStars is free. You download the app BEAT Stars. BeatStars. Its streaming and beat leasing platform is designed for anyone, but recording artists, songwriters, people in school, people just who love to write music, but you don't have your own rhythm section. Now, the BeatStars app lets you listen to 3.5 million beats and instrumentals, hooks, gives you ideas for songs. You can find royalty-free beat tracks, meaning you don't have to pay for them, and I love it. 5-star rated, and go and download BeatStars. It is free. How about that? Right here in this molten magma every day. Rick Dees in the Planet of the Apps.
Thank you there, Ricky Dees. The Planet of the Apps, Mondays through Fridays, and the Joe Show at this time leads us into the Country Comic Spotlight this morning. We're in the Spotlight. We have Colin Moulton in the Spotlight, and Colin Moulton talking about how different foods don't get a lot of love. And some foods that kind of just sit on your shelf. You buy them, everybody has them in their pantry maybe, but they're not used all that often. Here's Colin Moulton in the Country Comic Spotlight. Actually, first of all, starts off talking about how he met his wife and then kind of transitions into the food thing.
I picked a Midwestern woman. I met her in Indiana. I found her in Indiana. Just found her in a cornfield, gnawing on a dried-up cob. She still eats corn on the cob. She eats corn on the cob, which I can't stand. I don't know if you guys like that stuff, but corn on the cob is ridiculous. I'm sorry, I will not stand by that. That's an archaic food. It comes from a time when we didn't have the technology to get the corn off the cob. Dude, we could get it off the cob. We're not eating pork on the pig for a reason. Have you had the apple in the tree? I broke my arm last week. Certain foods we just take for granted. We buy them once, and then we never buy them again. And once every year, you take a few drops and put them on something, you're like, that's why I don't eat that. Right? Like, mustard doesn't have a very good life. It just sits there.
Stop it.
Horseradish? Horseradish has the worst business plan of any food on the planet. Could you imagine trying to make a living selling bay leaves, for instance? Like, once you sell everybody a leaf, it's over. You gotta retire. Everybody's got a bay leaf. It's done. Dried beans. Does anybody ever cook dried beans? You don't. You just put them out there so it looks like you can cook. And then when your friends go into the living room, then you open a can of beans and prepare dinner. And they go, "It's a lovely beans. Thank you for the fine dinner. I soaked them for 3 days to get the farts out." Open the can. You opened a can, liar. Skim milk. Anybody drink that crap? Skim milk. That's the dairy industry's answer to the milk hate of the 90s. When, right? Remember the milk hate in the 90s? When everybody's like, it's bad for you. We're the only animal that drinks the milk of another species. We're also the only animal with thumbs that cooks our food and watches Netflix. Careful, that's a slippery slope, man.
Colin Moulton in the Country Comic Spotlight. The best jokes from late-night television last night. Those jokes that were made by our late-night show hosts while we were all sleeping, cuddled up in bed. Starting off with Stephen Colbert. Stephen Colbert joking about this historic winter storm that's coming to the Midwest. Here's Stephen Colbert on CBS.
An historic 3-day storm is set to bring snow, ice, and extreme cold across the U.S. That's right, my fellow dads out there. This is it. Approaching storms are our Olympics. For the next 72 hours, your job is to breathlessly follow the AccuWeather radar tracker and give constant updates to the family group chat.
Jimmy Kimmel joking about those extreme weather storms heading in the Midwest, canceling so many flights, more than 1,500 flights already canceled.
Much of the country is dealing with extreme winter weather right now. More than 1,500 flights are canceled today, or as Southwest Airline calls it, not a bad Wednesday. It was a
typical Wednesday for Southwest, right? Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert in the Country Comic Spotlight, along with Colin Moulton. Where did I get Michael Colton from? Colin Moulton and Rick Dees in the Country Comic Spotlight and Planet of the Abs. Hey, shout out Bus 121. Appreciate Tim and Pitt listening to us this morning, getting the kiddos over to Hogsett and Tolliver Elementary Schools. They're in the Danville school system, and appreciate the great work that they do, and all the bus drivers across our area school systems as well. And kiddos, they're on 121. Listen up. Always do your best work. Listen to your teachers, and be kind to everybody, because there will never be another Thursday, February the 23rd of the year 2023. So make sure you make this day pay off accordingly. Hey, coming up in the 7 o'clock hour, Boyle County State Representative Daniel Elliott, Danville girls basketball coach Judy Mason, and Jessica Besson from the Mercer County Extension Office with the County Agents Corner. It's all coming up in the next 60 minutes right here on the Joe Show. A lot to do over the next hour. Don't go anywhere. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. Here's Top Hour News.
This is the talk of the town, AM 1230, and now on FM 103.9, WHIR Danville, powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
It's 7 o'clock.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. More than 60 million Americans are under winter weather alerts today as winter storm warnings stretch from California to the East Coast. Brutal cold and blizzard conditions are forecast across a broad stretch of the country. NBC meteorologist Angie Lassman.
We still have millions under winter alerts, but we're also dealing with wind chill alerts for much of the plains. And here's why. That Arctic air has settled in. It feels like minus 31 in Rapid City right now, so pretty incredible cold.
The high today in Billings, Montana is expected to be -1 with wind chills making it feel even colder. Snow and ice are forecast for the northern plains, Great Lakes region, parts of New York and New England where a foot of snow could pile up. Heavy rainfall is forecast for Southern California. Storms have knocked out power to more than 850,000 homes and businesses, mainly in Michigan and other parts of the Midwest. China's being warned against providing lethal aid to Russia in its invasion of Ukraine. The Pentagon said China will face consequences should they provide material support to the Kremlin. The deputy Pentagon press secretary also called Russia's decision to suspend a key nuclear arms treaty with the U.S. unfortunate and irresponsible. President Biden is back in the country following his visits to Ukraine and Poland. Just days before the first anniversary of Russia's invasion, Biden met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky Monday and reaffirmed the U.S. commitment to Ukraine. The president also made a stop in Poland on Tuesday. A 9-year-old girl and a journalist are among 3 people killed after multiple shootings in Florida on Wednesday. More from Mark Mayfield.
Cops say the male suspect believed to be responsible for the shootings is in custody. They happened in Orlando's Pine Hills neighborhood, where a woman was found fatally shot in the morning. Authorities say the suspect then returned to the scene and opened fire on 2 journalists who were covering the previous shooting, killing one of them. He then went into a nearby home and shot a mother and her child, who died, according to the police.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
CDW, we get the right workspace helps you work better.
It took 3 encyclopedias, but my webcam is finally at the right height. And I found the perfect cardboard box for my tangled assortment of cords and cables.
Sounds great, but with TripLite Work from Anywhere solutions orchestrated by CDW, it's easier for your teams to work consistently and productively with tools like monitor mounts, USB docks, and adapters.
Know anyone who wants 3 encyclopedias from 1992?
IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/TripLite.
A good work partner knows what you need before you need it. That's how it feels when you work with Cintas. Your dedicated Cintas service reps get to know your business and have the industry knowledge that can help you prepare for what's ahead. They'll deliver your team's workwear freshly laundered. Make sure your first aid and safety supplies, mats, mops, and towels are stocked when you need them. And your fire extinguishers are inspected and in working order. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get
Court resumes today in South Carolina in the Alex Murdaugh double murder trial. The disbarred lawyers' defense team is expected to rest their case by week's end. It's still not entirely clear whether Murdaugh will take the stand. On Wednesday, the defense asked the judge hearing the case to limit the scope of cross-examination if Murdaugh does, in fact, testify. The judge denied that request. More companies are shifting from a 5-day work week to 4. Tom Costello examines the potential for Americans as early data suggests it's actually beneficial.
Researchers say the flex hours that came with the pandemic accelerated the paradigm shift, with many employees, not just white-collar workers, getting more free time.
15% now say no amount of money will convince them to go back to 5 days. Crowdfunding platform Kickstarter went from 5 to 4 days last year, hoping to offer a better work-life balance and retain valuable employees. The company says productivity surprisingly increased with employees better rested and more engaged. Similar findings came from a large study involving over 60 British companies who did the same thing: banks, nonprofits, even fast food restaurants. Fewer people are applying for mortgages as rates go higher. Zincle Asumwa reports.
The once white-hot housing market is continuing to cool. Sales in January were down more than 36% compared to last year. The 12th straight month, sales of existing homes declined.
Next time you go to SeaWorld, you can leave your money at home. Phil Farrar reports.
Your money is no good. You can watch the splish splash of Shamu or the penguins, the dolphins. That's priceless. But if you want to buy a ticket, food, or a stuffed animal, it's all cashless at SeaWorld. Program already in place. Officials say going cashless is the simplest, most efficient, and flexible way to enjoy the park. Credit, debit cards, Apple Pay, Google Pay.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
It's all about you and Stuart Powell.
Hi, this is Fred Sizemore, General Manager at Stuart Powell Ford, where we make it easy to do business with us. Our team is dedicated to providing you with a hassle-free experience from start to finish. Whether you're in the market for a new vehicle or need to get your current vehicle serviced, we have you covered. Stop by and see how easy we make it at 225 South Danville Bypass here in Danville, or anytime at www.stuartpowellford.com.
Stuart Powell.
morning to you. It's Thursday. It's the 23rd day of February. It's 59 degrees right here in Danville. Look at the cloudy skies to begin what should be a nice feeling warm Thursday for us. Forecast is coming your way. News is first. News brought to you by Stuart Palford. We just heard from them, so let's get the news in here now.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update.
The huge little cherub sale is back again and will begin a week from tomorrow. Danville's only for-charity consignment sale will feature items from over 160 consigners, summer clothes, shoes, toys, games, feeding supplies, bath supplies, household items, pretty much anything you would need for a child from birth to the teenage years. It's Friday and Saturday, March 3rd and 4th at Centenary United Methodist Church in Danville. Ephraim McDowell Wellness Center is offering swim lessons and lifeguarding lessons, starting with group swim lessons. The first session will be Monday, March 20th through Thursday, March 30th. The second session, Monday, April 10th, and conclude on April 20th. Each lesson is 45 minutes long, and you can choose to attend the 4, 5, or 6 o'clock classes those nights. Meanwhile, for those looking to be certified in lifeguarding, that training will begin March the 1st. For questions, contact Carla Kurtzinger at 859-936-7219. A local band has been nominated for a Lexington Music Award. The band, named Taylor Road, is up for the Best Rock Band, Best Metal Band, and their lead guitarist, Stephen Lynch, is up for the Ben Lacey Guitarist Award for Excellence. Taylor Road features Danville natives Cam Davis and Jackson Ward, and Harrodsburg natives Stephen Lynch and Braden Pike. They were named after the garage where the band started on Taylor Road. The Lexington Music Award show will take place on March the 5th at the Lyric Theater and Cultural Arts Center. After a 2-year break to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Arts Commission of Danville and Boyle County is returning to in-person theater. The first play up is a play written by local playwright Liz Orndorff called The Tipping Point. It follows the story of a young man who faces challenges and was written as a way to talk with students about their decision-making. The plays will happen for Boyle students at the Performing Arts Center at Boyle County Middle School and for Danville students at Gravely Hall, and a public performance for people at Centerworks. That performance is actually tonight at 7 o'clock at the Centerworks building on the top floor of the Hub in Danville. The first alcohol license in the city has been given out. The KC News is reporting the 5-star convenience store on Liberty's Wallace Wilkinson Boulevard was the first to receive a license for the sale of alcoholic beverages within the city of Liberty. The sale of alcohol from that place makes it the first time anyone has ever been able to legally sell alcohol within Casey County. The county had been dry and remained dry since Prohibition. The city of Liberty went wet following the November vote, where about 60% of the Liberty voters voted in favor of turning the city wet. I'm Joe Mathis.
Hi, my name is Carol, and I'm a student at the University of Kentucky College of Nursing. You can prevent a tragedy on the farm. Make sure your children have a safe play area that's fenced in or at least separated from traffic and work areas. Make it free of dangerous debris and give them room to run and explore. Play equipment should be age appropriate and supervised. Although parents cannot completely kid-proof a farm, it is important to make it as safe as possible.
This morning's local news was a service of Stuart Powell Ford Lincoln Mazda on the bypass in Danville and online at stuartpowell.com.
Catch the best of Sean Hannity, Saturday mornings 10 to 1 on WHIR.
Hey, it's me, Gus the Gopher for Atmos Energy. Being a gopher, I like to dig. That's what us gophers were born to do, along with eating plants, taunting groundskeepers, and listening to bluegrass music. And I especially enjoy digging around the yard. Occasionally, I bump into a utility line and I get a headache. Ouch! After all, they're hard to miss since they can be buried anywhere. But if you hit one with your shovel, backhoe, or ditch digger, you could cause a gas leak, disrupt service, or worse. Makes me shake in my paws just thinking about it. You can avoid all of this by calling 811 at least 3 business days before you or someone else digs in your yard to have those underground utility-owned lines marked. Calling 811 will help protect your property, and more importantly, you. It's free, and it's the law. You dig what I'm saying? For more on safe digging, visit atmosenergy.com/811.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
It's brought to you by our friends over at Dexter and Reitmeyer Insurance, your local independent insurance agency, proudly representing the Auto Owners Insurance Company. Ask if auto owners make sense for you. Call Mark or Chris. They would love to give you a free quote. Dexter and Reitmeyer Insurance. Mostly sunny, a high today 76, a low tonight 36. Sunshine tomorrow, high of 50. On Saturday, mostly cloudy, 55 is the high. It's 7:11 in the morning right now. It's 59 degrees right here in Danville. 238-9447 is the phone number to call in this morning, 238-WHIR. And we'd love to have you on the radio this morning right here on The Joe Show. And speaking of that, we have got Boyle County and Casey County State Representative Daniel Elliott this morning on the telephone. Good morning, Daniel. How are you?
Hey, Joe. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you being on here, Daniel. Yesterday, if I am not mistaken by this, was the last day for you all to file bills for this legislative session. Is that correct?
That is correct. It was Tuesday for the Senate, Wednesday for us. So that's right. That was a good thing to see because we always have way too many bills filed, and most of them aren't going to go anywhere. When you look statistically at the end of the session, if you and I went back and looked at how many of these House bills actually passed the House, which is one thing in itself, and then actually went through the Senate and either signed by the governor, or vetoed, or overridden, the percentage is not all that high that actually becomes law, especially in a short session.
Yeah, and so you had some bills yesterday that were filed. One of them, Daniel, by one of your colleagues, Representative Lindsey Burke, who has filed a bill that would essentially restore abortion access across the state of Kentucky. And we have talked pretty in depth at times, Daniel, about the abortion laws, and we know that you are an advocate of pro-life, and Representative Burke essentially admits that this is going to be a tough uphill battle, especially considering the legislature is dominated by Republicans in the House and Senate. So, Daniel, when you have a bill like this, and I'm sure maybe this happens quite a bit in the session, a bill that someone files that maybe he or she knows that there's probably no chance it's going to get passed. Question number one would be, why file it? And question number two, is it one of those things where they want to show their constituents, hey, look, I'm at least trying? Is that why they file a bill like this?
I think it's the latter, Joe. She represents part of Lexington, as I recall. She's a new representative. She sits right in front of me. And I think she believes that she is representing her constituents and their views. And in that part of Kentucky, that's the view. Roe versus Wade should be restored, and we should have abortion access in Kentucky, really sort of unfettered access. But you're exactly right. The chances of that, going anywhere are probably zero or less than zero.
Yeah, it looks like one of your Republican colleagues, Jason Nemes, I think is how you say his last name?
Yeah, Nemes.
Is wanting to file some, I don't know if exceptions is the right word, but put it in abortion bills to where abortion across the book isn't necessarily always illegal, in terms, in cases of rape, of incest, that abortions would be allowed in those cases.
Yeah, and I think that's a discussion that we're going to have at some point in the legislature, and the leaders of both houses will probably decide when that discussion happens. But I think that's his bill. I think is a discussion that we're going to have as when Roe versus Wade was overturned, the decision went back to the states to make abortion policy. And so I think that's a decision that's yet to be made. There's some who support those exceptions, some who don't. I think that's probably one of the reasons the amendment failed, was because it did not include those exceptions, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
I think had those exceptions been laid out in the amendment that was voted upon, I think the amendment would probably, would have passed or would have gotten much closer to passing.
Yeah. So your belief is that the majority of Kentuckians believe abortion is wrong, shouldn't be legal, except in cases where there is, the terrible case of a rape or an incest or something like that. That's what you believe that most Kentuckians would have voted in favor of that.
That's where I agree, Joe. I think that's where most of them are, and also I think with the the other provision, I think is some type of a fetal abnormality that would make the pregnancy dangerous to the mother, or the child had died during the 9-month period, and that there would be an exception for sort of a medical procedure to take care of that. But yes, I think that's where most of them are.
Daniel, we've had discussions in the past about certain bills that make it out of the House that just die in the Senate, and we know sports gambling, medical marijuana are two examples of that. Last year, you all did pass in the House Bill 133, which was you all's version of making Juneteenth a state holiday. You all passed it, but it never made it to the full Senate. And now we have this year another bill, this time on the Senate side, that has been filed to make Juneteenth a state holiday. So this time it at least starts in the state Senate. Daniel, what do you think the prospects are of that bill passing?
I think that may have just been a function of them running out of time over on the Senate side. A lot of times we get into time crunch and something passes in the House and doesn't pass in the Senate, or vice versa. I think that's really an example of that. I don't think there's anybody who's really opposed to that being a holiday, to that idea. So that would be my guess on that, Joe.
With Boyle County State Representative Daniel Elliott. Daniel, anything of note that you think will happen today in the state capitol?
Well, the Boyle County football team will be over today, over in the Senate, so I'm excited about that. I'll go down and greet them, and they'll be recognized for their big win, great season. And there's always something exciting happening, Joe. It's sometimes it's hard to predict, but there's always something going on in Frankfort. It's hard to find a parking spot too anymore, I've noticed. So I don't know if that's just a function of people wanting to see the state legislature in action, or COVID, or what it is, but parking is kind of few and far between at times.
Why don't you have your own parking spot? I mean, you all are the ones that need to be there, right? Like, and I get the reporters. I mean, that's important too, but you all have to be there.
Well, we have a lot of reserved spaces, but
you don't get there early enough.
Well, I am this morning. I am this morning, but no. Sometimes it's good to see the space is full. I mean, that gives me hope for the future, because people are interested in what we're doing, and they're interacting with us, and that's a good thing.
Boyle County State Representative Daniel Elliott. Daniel, later on this morning at 9:35, we're having Congressman James Comer on the show this morning. So, so we're excited to talk to him. He was actually...
I said hello.
I will do that. He was in Danville last week, actually, met with some of his constituents there at the Red Rooster Cafe there on Main Street. So we'll have Congressman Comer on here this morning.
Yeah, he had invited me to that, and I would have been there, but I was in Frankfurt. But he's a great guy, and I think we're fortunate to have him.
Boyle County State Representative Daniel Elliott. Daniel, appreciate you being on this morning. You have safe travels to Frankfurt. We'll talk to you again tomorrow, okay?
Thanks, Joe. Bye-bye.
Bye. That's Daniel Elliott, Boyle County State Representative at 7:19 in the morning. We've got Lady Admiral head coach Judy Mason coming on here. Lady Admirals, I should say, versus the DCA Lady Warriors. Should be a great game tonight. We'll see what Coach Mason has to say about DCA. Coming up right after this. Brought to you by Stewart Powell Ford Lincoln Mazda. It's the sports segment.
This Steve Bertram Sports Report is a service of Stewart Powell Ford Lincoln Mazda on the Danville Bypass and online at stewartpowell.com.
It's all about you and Stewart Powell.
Hi, this is Fred Sizemore, General Manager of Stewart Powell Ford, Lincoln, and Mazda, 225 South Danville Bypass here in Danville. And for the first time in 3 years, we have new Fords on our lot ready to go home with you. Please stop by and see our selection. We are offering these at invoice pricing, or shop online at stewartpowell.com.
Make your people happy, because we know how. It's an easy thing to do in Danville. Stewart Powell. Ford Lincoln Mazda.
Hello, Central Kentucky. I'm Steve Bertram with sports. We've talked about how even the boys' 45th district is. Last night it was on display in the semifinals as defending 12th region champion Lincoln County and Boyle County advanced to next week's 12th region tournament. In the opener, Danville's Owen Barnes hit a three with 1.4 seconds left to send the game into overtime at Lincoln County, but the Patriots got the only points of the extra period on a Jackson Sims three to beat the Admirals 54-51. In the second game, the Rebels rallied late to top Garrett County 74-69. Ethan Cooper put on a solid display for the Golden Lions with 38 points, while Tavy Quisenberry led the Rebels with 27. Other boys' scores in the 46th District semifinals, Mercer County nipped East Jessamine 67-64, and West Jessamine rolled over Trinity Christian 95-38. And in the 48th, Wayne County eliminated Southwestern 48-43. In the girls' 47th District Finals, Pulaski County downed Somerset 57-49. In men's college basketball last night, Kentucky hit free throws down the stretch to win at Florida 82-74. Oscar Sheboy had 25 points to lead the Cats in scoring, while Jacob Toppin and Chris Livingston both turned in double-doubles. Toppin had 19 points and 11 rebounds, while Livingston added 10 points and 15 boards. Antonio Reeves had 16 points and Cason Wallace added 8. UK built a 15-point lead in the first half, but the Gators rallied to go up 37-36 at intermission. UK hosts Auburn Saturday afternoon on Z105. In other SEC action, number 2 Alabama edged South Carolina in overtime 78-76. It was Auburn 78, Ole Miss 74, and LSU 84, Vanderbilt 77. Hometown Radio brings you girls district championship games tonight. In the 45th at Lincoln County, Danville takes on Danville Christian Academy at 7 o'clock on Z105. In the 46th at Bergen, Mercer County faces West Jessamine at 7 on WHBN FM 99.5. Both games stream at hometownlive.net. That's sports. God bless America. I'm Steve Bertram on the Hometown Radio Network.
Hi, this is Caroline and Adeline at Mattresses and More next door to Ace Hardware in Danville. If you are looking for new furniture or bedding, come check out our tax refund sale. New merchandise arriving weekly and we sell off the floor. Get up to 35% off. We offer layaway and 12 months same as cash with approved credit. Come see Aunt Nana. You'll be glad you did.
Again, buy it today, take it home today. Living room suits, bedroom suits, dinette sets, recliners, and more. From Mattresses and More, Southland Plaza next to Ace Hardware.
Hi, this is Jenny, local owner of the Danville Nutrition Center, and we are making room for new products by clearancing out overstocked items. Save 20 to 40% off on select vitamins, herbs, and health and beauty products. We currently have hundreds of sale items, but it's while supplies last, so stop by the Nutrition Center soon to save. We are conveniently located at 802 South 4th Street, Danville. Danville Nutrition Center, big enough to serve, small enough to care.
A few years ago, Steve Faircow's lungs were failing.
I don't think I had more than a couple weeks to live.
That's when Steve received a lung transplant made possible by an organ donor. Now Steve can do things he never imagined, like climbing 94 floors to the top of a skyscraper.
I never knew that breathing could feel this good. It's an incredible gift.
What could you make possible as an organ, eye, and tissue donor? Leave behind the gift of life. Go to organdonor.gov, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
Brought to you by ADA Heating and Air. Trust ADA to be there when you need them the most. ADA is on the way. Call them 859-519-6382. ADA Heating and Air. Mostly sunny, a high of 76, a low of 36. Sunshine tomorrow, high of 50. Saturday, cloudy and 55. Sunday, cloudy and 60 is the high at 7:25 in the morning. And we are looking at 58 degrees right here in Danville. And Lady Admiral head coach Judy Mason joins us this morning on the telephone. Good morning, Coach Mason. How are you?
Good morning, Joe. I'm great. Just sitting here in Somerset watching it rain.
Oh, it's raining down south. Yeah, I'm looking at the radar right now. You're exactly right over Somerset. Yeah, got the rain coming down. So I tell you what, going to be a sunny afternoon today, expecting mid-70s as the high. I joked with Coach McKinney yesterday when I had him on, Coach. I didn't play basketball in high school when I was in high school. I graduated from Danville in 2007, so I wasn't on the team. Coach McKinney, I guess, would have been my coach at one point there if I did play. But I played backyard basketball, right? Played with my friends, pick up all that. And you never want a windy day when you're playing outside unless you're a shooter like me where you're not very good. Then you can blame it on the wind when you miss, Coach.
I heard you yesterday, Joe.
Yeah, it's a
well,
strategy.
Let's just say we're going to rain threes today. How's that?
There you go. Raining threes down, Coach. And, look, I feel like I did the Mercer County East Jessamine boys basketball game yesterday. And maybe I'm completely wrong, but, you want to win the district championship, first of all, right? Certainly you do. But the high-pressure game, the one that you've got to win, is the district semis. And so you come into tonight's game, you've already punched your ticket to the region tournament, right? That pressure where if you lose, you go home is off of you. Do you play more looser tonight against DCA because you're already in? We know you want to win. That's not what I'm saying, but can you come out a little bit more loose tonight?
Well, absolutely. But as you said, too, like I told the kids yesterday, they got a chance to, I think, if I'm not mistaken, to win 4 districts in a row. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's ever happened at Danville. But the thing about it is, like you said, you are in the region, but let's also be real, too. The difference is who you play if you win or lose also.
Yeah, so...
I went and watched Pulaski and Somerset last night, and that was a really good game. And, went down... I thought Somerset had them there for a while, but like I said, this region's so wide open, I guess it doesn't really matter. But when you're playing your big rivalry, DCA is going to come out ready to play because we have beaten them 3 times. So if we come out too loose, we could go home real early.
That's interesting. You said a big rivalry. Do you consider a DCA kind of a rival now? Because, again, they're a team that over the last couple of years, they've certainly grown to become a pretty formidable opponent. They've won 20 games this year. I know every team in the district is a quote-unquote rival, but do you see DCA kind of as that Danville rival?
It's one of them, but you got to be when, you never know what they're going to have year by year, and they're just going to keep reloading, and, you just got to be ready to play. But you can't say Boyle and Lincoln's not a rivalry either. So we like that rivalry. I'm sure they do too. What are they, 5 minutes from our school?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like when I was at Somerset and Pulaski, you could spit on each other. So I guess you'd have to say they're one of our rivalries, but Boyle and Lincoln's also got to be right there.
Yeah, Coach, when you look at this DCA team, there's no doubt who their best player is. Right, and she's one of the best players in the region. That's Grace Bugwa. And you played her, 3 times this year now. You've beaten them all 3 times. And I've done, Danville games this year. I've done DCA games this year. I'm not sure there's necessarily a way to, quote-unquote, shut down Grace Bugwa. But you all have been able to hold her down, especially the game that you played there at DCA, I believe, when you held her to 18 points. And for most kids, 18 points is a career night. But if you hold her to 18, you're feeling confident about your chances to win. Is that kind of the strategy coming in where Grace is going to get her points at some cases in the game? You just got to shut down the other players in the court?
Grace is going to get hers no matter what. But we play 2 different styles of ball, and basically it's what kind of style of ball you'll play that night. DCA is one of the best teams we've played all year. You look at their 5 losses, they lost to North Laurel and really had North Laurel beat, and they're like us. They lost to Pulaski the first game of the season. So, in my opinion, and I've said this to you, I wouldn't mind playing them 5 times.
Yeah.
Because, in my opinion, they're one of the best teams in the region. And if you haven't gone against Grace, it's different. That's what I told Southwestern's coach, actually, last night. If you haven't gone against her, it's different.
Yeah, when you say play them 5 times, that would mean that you play them again in the region championship, and certainly a Danville DCA game you could see being in a region championship game because you all are 2 of the best teams in the 12th region, and that's no disrespect to Pulaski County. They're up there as well, but you could see a Danville DCA region championship game.
Absolutely. That would be great for our community, and so, like I said, Coach Inman does a good job with the addition of Baldock. They needed a point guard, and she's made them a totally different team. So, like you said, though, tonight, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. And I've also told the girls the 2 years that I did win the region, we were runner-up the district. So, like you said, let's just go out and have fun tonight.
There you go. Danville Lady Admiral basketball coach Judy Mason. It's a 7 o'clock tip-off tonight. It's Danville and DCA for the 4th time this season. We'll have that game on our sister station, Z105 WR and ZFM, with Steve Bertram on the play-by-play call. Coach, appreciate you being on. Good luck tonight against DCA, and we'll talk to you again next week, okay?
All right, Joe. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, Coach. Bye.
All right, have a great day. Bye.
That's Danville Lady Admiral head coach Judy Mason. Lady Ads, winners of 6 straight. I'm sorry, I'm looking at Danville Christian Academy's schedule. DCA winners of 6 straight. Danville winners of 8 straight. So both on a winning streak here coming into the 45th District Championship. Danville DCA, 7 o'clock tip-off tonight. Hey, coming up in the next 30 minutes, we've got the County Agents Corner brought to you by Bluegrass South Livestock Market. Jessica Besson going to give us a lesson this morning on the County Agents Corner. We'll have her at 7:35, 7:40-ish or so. In the 8 o'clock hour, 8:20, Randy-isms. Randy Graham will be on here. 8:40, James the Gardener. In the 9 o'clock hour, 9:10, Boyle County Judge Executive Trilly Bottom will join us at 9:10. And at 9:35, Congressman James Comer will join us for the first time on the show, and we'll talk with Congressman Comer. Remember, we had the redistricting that happened back in November during Election Day, right? And so Congressman Brett Guthrie is no longer Boyle County's congressional representative. It's now James Comer. So we're going to have Congressman James Comer on the show for the first time since that election this morning at 9:35. 238-9447 is the phone number to call in this morning, 238-WHIR. And don't let your breakfast be boring. Get waking with bacon at Wendy's in Danville, the Breakfast Baconator. Tell them the Joe Show on WHIR sent you at Wendy's in Danville.
Breakfast be bland
and
boring when it could just be better. Stop settling for bland and boring and instead start going for bacon. Dive in for all of Wendy's Breakfast Baconator, oven-baked bacon that will awaken your taste buds and start your day off with a bacon bang. Or take a delicious bite of the sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant, savory sausage on a flaky, warm croissant bun. Pair that with a must-have breakfast sandwich and a frosty to help you make it through your Monday morning, or any workday morning for that matter. Stop by your local Wendy's for either the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit or the sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. Both of those sandwiches have a fresh cracked grade A egg, melted American cheese that'll make you wake up feeling sunny all day long. Go to Wendy's for breakfast and you'll realize mornings don't have to be so bad. Set your alarm clock and never hit snooze again, because getting up at the crack of dawn isn't so bad with a fresh cracked egg and cheese. And Applewood smoked bacon, of course. Come on, get up, get your morning started. Go get yourself a Wendy's breakfast.
Hometown Radio's Big Deals offer is out of this world. It's Cosmic Bowling. Experience bowling with an outer space-like atmosphere. Black lights, strobe lights, and pattern lights accent the hit music that beats over the speakers. The lights and music effects make it an out-of-the-world experience. It's all at Galaxy Bowling and Entertainment Center in Richmond. Go have a lot of family fun with our Big Deals Pizza, Pins, and Pepsi Party. The party includes 2 hours of bowling shoes for up to 6 people, a large pizza, and a pitcher of soda. The retail value is up to $85. At Big Deal's online store, get the Pizza, Pins, and Pepsi Party for just $49. Yes, $49. What a deal. It's a big deal out of this world. Shop and save at Big Deal's online store, hometownlive.net, hometownlive.net.
Shop local, buy local, save big deals.
Big deals at hometownlive.net.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update.
The huge Little Cherub sale is back again and will begin a week from tomorrow. Danville's only for-charity consignment sale will feature items from over 160 consigners, summer clothes, shoes, toys, games, feeding supplies, bath supplies, household items, pretty much anything you would need for a child from birth to the teenage years. It's Friday and Saturday, March 3rd and 4th at Centenary United Methodist Church in Danville. Ephraim McDowell Wellness Center is offering swim lessons and lifeguarding lessons, starting with group swim lessons. The first session will be Monday, March 20th through Thursday, March 30th. The second session, Monday, April 10th, and conclude on April 20th. Each lesson is 45 minutes long, and you can choose to attend the 4, 5, or 6 o'clock classes those nights. Meanwhile, for those looking to be certified in lifeguarding, that training will begin March the 1st. For questions, contact Carla Kurtzinger at 859-936-7219.
A local band has been nominated for a Lexington Music Award. The band, named Taylor Road, is up for the Best Rock Band, Best Metal Band, and their lead guitarist, Stephen Lynch, is up for the Ben Lacey Guitarist Award for Excellence. Taylor Road features Danville natives Cam Davis and Jackson Ward, and Harrodsburg natives Stephen Lynch and Braden Pike. They were named after the garage where the band started on Taylor Road. The Lexington Music Award show will take place on March the 5th at the Lyric Theater and Cultural Arts Center. After a 2-year break to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Arts Commission of Danville and Boyle County is returning to in-person theater. The first play up is a play written by local playwright Liz Orndorff called The Tipping Point. It follows the story of a young man who faces challenges and was written as a way to talk with students about their decision-making. The plays will happen for Boyle students at the Performing Arts Center at Boyle County Middle School and for Danville students at Gravely Hall, and a public performance for people at Centerworks. That performance is actually tonight at 7 o'clock at the Centerworks building on the top floor of the Hub in Danville. The first alcohol license in the city has been given out. The KC News is reporting the 5-star convenience store on Liberty's Wallace-Wilkinson Boulevard was the first to receive a license for the sale of alcoholic beverages within the city of Liberty. The sale of alcohol from that place makes it the first time anyone has ever been able to legally sell alcohol within Casey County. The county had been dry and remained dry since Prohibition. The city of Liberty went wet following the November vote, where about 60% of the Liberty voters voted in favor of turning the city wet. I'm Joe Mathis.
Hello, this is Rosie the Skunk for Atmos Energy. You might think I make a bad smell. I mean, of course you do. Why wouldn't you? After all, I'm a skunk. But my stinky fragrance is nothing compared to the rotten egg smell of a gas leak, because that could be dangerous. So if you think you smell a leak or encounter other signs such as hearing a hissing or blowing sound or seeing a vapor cloud, blowing dirt or bubbling water, do not smoke, talk on the phone, turn on or off equipment or vehicles, or do anything that could cause a spark. Leave the area immediately. Then call 911 and Atmos Energy. Atmos Energy will send a trained technician to investigate the situation. Take it from a skunk. Gas leaks just plain stink. Seriously, there's no gray area here. When dealing with gas leaks, it's black and white. Yep, that's a little skunk humor there. For more information, visit atmosenergy.com/gas safety.
This is Randy Gipp Graham. If you want to start your weekend off in a winning way, propelling you into a new work week, then join with our team every Saturday morning at 7 o'clock on the Kentucky Power Hour. Sure, we talk current events, politics, a little sports, and a lot about leadership, but with you, the listener, in mind. So start your day off in a winning way. Rise and shine, champions. Right here on the Happy Station, AM 1230 WHIR.
The Kentucky Power Hour on 1230 WHIR. Darling.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
It's brought to you by our friends over at the Big Deals online store. Sign up for money savings deals from local businesses by going to hometownlive.net and click on the Big Deals online store. Get all the email big deals at hometownlive.net. Mostly sunny, high of 76, a low tonight 36. Sunshine tomorrow, high of 50. Saturday, mostly cloudy, high of 55. And on Sunday, cloudy and 59. Right now it's 7:39 in the morning. And we are looking at 58 degrees right here in Danville. We welcome onto the show Jessica Besson, who's here to give us a lesson. Good morning, Jessica. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Joe. I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Everything going well in the Besson household this morning?
Yes, I have 2 little helpers right here, so
I was going to ask.
Some background.
I was going to ask if the kiddos are being well behaved this morning. That's good.
As of right now, they are.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, well, good stuff. Jessica's on here to give us the County Agent's Corner. Let's take advantage right now then of the kids being well behaved. Let's put Jessica on the radio, brought to you by Bluegrass South Livestock Market.
Get the top price for your livestock. Take them to the Bluegrass South Livestock Market, where they have drop-off hours to fit the busy farmer's needs. Selling your livestock a profitable and a pleasant experience. Save the hassle of a long haul. Sell your livestock at the Bluegrass South Livestock Market, 277 Courtier Road in Stanford. Call Bluegrass South Livestock Market at 606-365-0665. Bluegrass South Livestock Market in Stanford.
Here's Jessica Besson.
All right, thanks, Joe. So home gardeners might be experiencing spring fever right now with all these warmer temperatures, but try not to rush into spring tilling. Keep in mind the ground is still extremely wet from all the rain that we have been getting. So you don't want to till the ground too early and potentially damage the structure that could affect your garden soil for years to come. Tilling your garden while wet can destroy valuable soil structure. Soil structure describes the arrangement of the solid parts of the soil and the pore space located between them. Once the soil structure has been destroyed, it is not easily reestablished. The pore spacing is critical for overall health and development. Soil that has been tilled when it's wet will often form soil clods that can give you problems later on and be difficult with the addition of foot traffic and cause much damage to your soil when tilling when wet. Also, if your soil contains a moderate amount of clay, like most people does in our area, tilling with the right moisture context is even more important. One way to do a moisture check is to quickly do a squeeze test to determine if you can till the soil. Take a handful of soil, squeeze it into a ball in your hand. If you press your fingertips and it through the ball of soil and it causes it to crumble, the soil should be good to work. Another option is to form a ball of soil and drop it about waist high. And as you might expect, if it shatters when dropped, it will be dry enough to get in your garden and work the soil. If you plan on adding soil amendments such as compost, it's a good idea to work those into the soil early in the season. Be sure to blend any amendments into the soil with a shovel or spading fork. Hand mixing small areas sometimes is easier and a better option when it comes to compost rather than rototilling it in. These warmer, sunny spring days can be the best opportunity to work compost into your soil. It's important to remember that compost has been sitting on top of your garden as mulch all year has been insulating the soil too. So that can affect how moist it's keeping the ground or drying it out. Mixing the compost into the soil will help speed up the warming process and could allow you to get a jump start on your growing season. So that's today's Farm News. Thanks for tuning in to our program. Join us each weekday at this time for the County Agent's Corner, a service of the Mercer, Boyle, Garrett, and Lincoln County UK Cooperative Extension offices.
That's Jessica Besson giving us a lesson this morning on the County Agent's Corner. And the little baby making some noise in the background as well.
Yes.
There you go. All right, Jessica, before you go, some random facts you may not know, but I want you to know, so I'm going to let you know. Jessica, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, good. Fact number one, idiopathic diseases are conditions where symptoms can be described, but they have no known cause. Basically, it's a mystery disease, which I'm not sure why we call them idiopathic diseases. We should give those diseases a name, right? Like if someone can give you symptoms, but those symptoms don't have a name yet, why don't we see if anyone else suffers from those symptoms, and then we give that sickness a name?
Exactly,
right? I mean, I don't know. There are more than you think as well. This is not something that people make up in their brain. More than 1/3 of acute respiratory cases are idiopathic. Up to 40% of gastrointestinal disorders are idiopathic, which is a large number, right? So, if 40% of all the gastro disorders that people have don't have a name, why don't we give those gastro disorders a name? That way, those people don't feel like they're crazy. Like, I know I'm going through this stuff right now. Just because you don't have a name for it doesn't mean I'm not going through it.
Mm-hmm.
It also causes more than half of the cases of swelling of the brain, and up to 20% of cancers are idiopathic diseases.
Wow.
There you go. Number two, no actor or actress won an Oscar for a performance in a Steven Spielberg movie until Daniel Day-Lewis did it in 2013, portraying Abraham Lincoln in the movie Lincoln.
That's pretty.
Yeah, all the
pretty
great movies that Spielberg directed.
Surprising.
Number three, that 70s show debuted in 1998, which is 18 years after the 70s ended. By the way, if you're on Netflix, that 90s show debuted last month, 23 years after the 90s ended.
I was going to ask, did you watch this? I haven't watched it.
I don't have Netflix.
Oh.
Yeah, we have some other streaming services, and Netflix I know is the most popular one, but we didn't use it enough to justify keeping it. We have, all these Disney Plus. Yeah, we have Amazon Prime Video, all that. So we don't have Netflix.
Yeah.
Number four, Pocahontas and Shakespeare died less than a year apart. Both died in England. He died in April of 1616, and she died about 150 miles away in March of 1617. I didn't realize that they lived within the same time period.
I didn't either.
I would have thought Shakespeare was a lot older than Pocahontas.
Same. I would have thought the same.
Like Shakespeare, 1600s, I get it, but Pocahontas, 1800s or something, would have been what I was thinking.
Yeah, it was early.
Yeah. Number five, the height of Mount Everest was originally calculated in 1865 at exactly 29,000 feet. They calculated this height. They measured it 29,000 feet exactly, but it was published as 29,002 feet. because the scientists that measured it believe that people would assume they didn't actually measure it. They just rounded to 29,000 feet. It's now considered to be 29,031.7 feet above sea level, and there's no funny business with those numbers. That is the exact height of Mount Everest. This is calculated right now. There you go. Jessica Besson, giving us a lesson. Jessica, you have a great day. We'll talk to you again in March, okay?
All right. Thank you.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Jessica Besson on This Morning with the County Agent's Corner, and Linda McClanahan joins us again tomorrow morning right here on The Joe Show to round out this week at 7:45.
The Hometown Radio Network sports broadcast schedule brought to you by Monticello Bank. Girls District Championship action tonight in the 45th. It is DCA versus Danville. 7 o'clock tip-off tonight, a game we'll have on Z105, WRNZ FM. In the 46th District Championship, it's Mercer County versus West Jessamine. 7 o'clock tip-off for that one. We'll have it on 99.5 FM WHBN. Then the Boys District Championships are tomorrow. Mercer versus West in the 46th. Boyle versus Lincoln in the 45th. Those games also on the Hometown Radio Network.
Hello, Central Kentucky. I'm Steve Bertram with sports. We've talked about how even the boys' 45th district is. Last night it was on display in the semifinals as defending 12th region champion Lincoln County and Boyle County advanced to next week's 12th region tournament. In the opener, Danville's Owen Barnes hit a three with 1.4 seconds left to send the game into overtime at Lincoln County, but the Patriots got the only points of the extra period on a Jackson Sims 3 to beat the Admirals 54-51. In the second game, the Rebels rallied late to top Garrett County 74-69. Ethan Cooper put on a solid display for the Golden Lions with 38 points, while Tavy Quisenberry led the Rebels with 27. Other boys' scores in the 46th District semifinals, Mercer County nipped East Jessamine 67-64, and West Jessamine rolled over Trinity Christian 95-38. And in the 48th, Wayne County eliminated Southwestern 48-43. In the girls' 47th District Finals, Pulaski County downed Somerset 57-49. In men's college basketball last night, Kentucky hit free throws down the stretch to win at Florida 82-74. Oscar Sheboy had 25 points to lead the Cats in scoring, while Jacob Toppin and Chris Livingston both turned in double-doubles. Toppin had 19 points and 11 rebounds, while Livingston added 10 points and 15 boards. Antonio Reeves had 16 points and Cason Wallace added 8. UK built a 15-point lead in the first half, but the Gators rallied to go up 37-36 at intermission. UK hosts Auburn Saturday afternoon on Z105. In other SEC action, number 2 Alabama edged South Carolina in overtime 78-76. It was Auburn 78, Ole Miss 74, and LSU 84, Vanderbilt 77. Hometown Radio brings you girls district championship games tonight. In the 45th at Lincoln County, Danville takes on Danville Christian Academy at 7 o'clock on Z105. In the 46th at Bergen, Mercer County faces West Jessamine at 7 on WHBN FM 99.5. Both games stream at hometownlive.net. That's sports. God bless America. I'm Steve Bertram on the Hometown Radio Network.
Did you know there's only one full-service jewelry store in 5 counties? And it's not at the mall, and it's not a national chain or any box store. I'm talking about B&L Jewelers right here in the Danville Manor Shopping Center. This is Lauren. Our prices and quality cannot be matched, and everything you purchase from B&L Jewelers is backed by a free lifetime guarantee. The mall and department store folks make big money selling their guarantees to folks who don't know about us. We offer full services that can't be matched by anyone. Any type of jewelry repair or remount, or just answers to simple questions from a real jeweler on site right here in our store. We know that your jewelry is precious to you, so we do all of our repairs in-house and in an average of 3 days. We can take care of all your engraving needs, from simple plaques to major corporate logos, even those champagne or wine bottles for those special occasions, all done here by your trusted jeweler. We believe in treating our clients like friends, not like customers. We have a free 6-month layaway. We offer up to 60 months financing, 12 months same as cash financing, no credit check financing available as well. Why would you go anywhere else? B&L Jewelers is the only intelligent choice for all your jewelry needs.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hi, I'm Brent Blevins, Public Health Director of the Boyle County Health Department with an important message. The American Cancer Society estimates that nearly 3,500 deaths per year in Kentucky can be attributed to lung cancer. Most people are aware that cigarette smoking may contribute to lung cancer, but are unaware of another serious lung cancer threat, radon. In fact, the Environmental Protection Agency states that prolonged exposure to elevated levels of radon gas is the second leading cause of lung cancer. Now, you may be asking yourself a few questions like, what is an elevated level of radon? Where does radon come from? Or, how can I tell if radon is in my home? Your Boyle County Health Department stands ready to answer your questions and help determine if your family may be at risk. Simply contact our environmental staff at 859-236-2053. The health of your family depends on it.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Do you have a sunroom, a man cave, a she shed, or a frog? It's a finished room over a garage that needs heat or air? Did you know one of Kentucky's largest ductless mini-split distributors is located in Danville? The HVAC outlet offers the best ductless mini-splits on the market that you can install yourself, or they can assist with installation. Prices start at only $6.99. Call the HVAC outlet, 859-209-1112, or swing by 308 Fackler Street in Danville. All equipment is in stock.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
Hey, it's brought to you by our friends at Coel Collision Center here in Danville. They're on Lebanon Road. After a wreck, tell that tow truck driver, take your vehicle over to the experts, Brent and Devin at Coel Collision Center, Lebanon Road, right here in Danville. Cloudy skies, high today 76, a low tonight 36. Tomorrow, sunshine, 50's the high. Saturday, 55, and Sunday, 60 is your high. Right now it's 7:54 in the morning, 7:54 in the morning, and 58 degrees right here in Danville. Crazy story coming from Alaska, where a woman in Anchorage was just like out walking her dog, you know, just doing her regular thing every day, taking her dog for a walk, when she was attacked by a moose. She was kicked in the head by a moose. This is a real story from Anchorage, Alaska. And if you're concerned that you may be kicked in the head by a moose, you need to learn karate, particularly Moose Kwon-Do.
Tired of this happening to you?
Aw, here, Moosey Moosey. Ow! That moose kicked me right in the head.
Well, not anymore with Moose Kwon-Do, the self-defense course that specializes in moose-related attacks.
All right, let's get started. A moose comes at you, ready to rumble. What do?
Curl myself up into a ball.
Wrong. You deflect those hooves with your fists.
Well, I don't know if I should.
Bring in the practice moose.
Oh, please, no.
Punch Punch it! Punch the moose back!
Moose Kwando. Learn to defend yourself against any angry moose that comes your way. Enroll now.
Yeah, those are important classes to take. Let's see what's going on in the world of weird. We're talking Hollywood, out west in the celebrity world, the showbiz segment. Those people who think we have it together, they think they have it together, but goodness gracious, they are so confused. Here we go. All right, Paris Hilton and her husband, Carter, is it Riem? I don't know. They welcomed a baby boy last month. Congratulations to them, however. Paris didn't carry him. They used a surrogate, and yesterday Paris revealed his name. It's Phoenix Baron Hilton Riem. Or Roym. I don't know how to say the guy's last name. Paris read an excerpt from her upcoming memoir on Instagram where she talks about how she came up with the name years ago while searching a map for names of cities, countries, and states. She apparently has a thing for that since her name is Paris. And if she has a girl, she wanted to name her London. She added that Phoenix is, quote, the bird that flames out and then rises from the ashes to fly again. I want my son to grow up knowing that disaster and triumph go around and come around throughout our lives, and that this should give us great hope for the future. So she pulled out a map and she saw, hey, Phoenix, Arizona. Let's name my son Phoenix. What it sounds like to me, she did. There's a new version of Mean Girls in the works based on the Broadway musical. Tina Fey is back as the teacher Mrs. Norbury, and she's also the writer and producer. The girls will obviously be played by younger actresses, but the original stars, Lindsay Lohan, Rachel McAdams, Amanda Seyfried, and Lacey Chabert, were reportedly going to have roles until the studio, insulted them. Supposedly, Paramount offered them too little money, so they all turned it down. Quote, all 4 girls were willing to come back, but Paramount has not been respectful of what they're worth. As of now, the negotiations are stalled. And after last year's slap at the Oscars, they're making sure they are now prepared for anything. They even went as far as assembling a crisis team. An Academy executive told Time magazine, quote, because of last year, we've opened our minds to the many things that can happen at the Oscars. But these crisis plans, the crisis communications teams and structures we have in place allow us to say this is the group that we have to gather very quickly. And depending on the specifics of the crisis, let's hope something doesn't happen and we never have to use these, but we already have frameworks in place. The Academy is prepared for any possible slapping at this year's Oscars. The original Mean Girls may not return for the new movie due to a disrespectful money offer. And Paris Hilton explains her new baby's name. And that's what's going on in the world of weird celebrity news. It's 7:58 in the morning. We're going to go to Melton's Deli in Danville, grab ourselves a sandwich for lunch later on this afternoon. Melton's Deli in Danville. I'm looking for the menu. I got a little menu here in studio and couldn't find it, but it was over to my right in wide open plain view. All right, here we go. Melton's Deli in Danville. Let's grab an all-American sandwich for lunch today. It's lean roast beef, smoked turkey, cheddar cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, and mayonnaise, served on an onion bun or your choice of white, wheat, or rye bread. The All-American is number 4 on the Melton's Deli menu. You can get it at 247 East Main Street or 995 Ben Ally Drive in Danville. Melton's Deli, number 1 on East Main, number 2 next to the Danville Cinemas 8. It's Melton's Deli, and the All-American sandwich is your sandwich of the day. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, I'm going to give you a chance to register to win a $25 gift card to McDonald's to try out the brand new Shamrock Shake that is now on the McDonald's menus for a limited time only. We'll give you a chance to register for that coming up next on The Joe Show in the 8 o'clock hour.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, Cartown Kia has you covered. If you have a job taking home over $350 a week, we have over 20 lenders that want to approve you. So shop and save with confidence.
Take home a 2018 Kia Optima or a 2022 Kia Rio. Just $88 down and $299 per month.
Come see us at Cartown Kia and CartownKiaUSA.com.
Example, 2018 Kia Optima and 2022 Kia Rio. Only select in stock makes and models with approved credit. $88 payment, $299 per month plus tax, title, license, stock, and acquisition fees. Subject to fire sale, loss, plus
Excess lapse. Price may not include dealer added options. See dealer for details.
Lawson's Tractor 2, your local Kubota equipment dealer, wants to help you deliver a job done right. That's why they want you to know that the new Kubota inventory is arriving daily. You have work to do. They have the reliability and durability and versatile lineup to help you do it all. Visit Lawson's Tractor 2 today for all your equipment needs. Lawson's Tractor 2, 4 miles south of Danville on Highway 127, open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and Saturday, 8 to noon. Lawson's Tractor 2.
This is the talk of the town, AM 1230, and now on FM 103.9, WHIR Danville, powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
It's 8 o'clock. NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. More than 60 million Americans are under winter weather alerts as winter storm warnings stretch from California to the East Coast. Snow and ice are forecast from the northern plains, Great Lakes region, parts of New York and New England, where a foot of snow could pile up. Heavy rainfall is forecast for Southern California. Air travelers could face more flight cancellations as the storm hits. Travel expert Lee Abamonte says travelers should be prepared for possible cancellations or delays, even if they don't live in an area affected by the storm.
It's a nationwide thing. It's going to be a chain reaction. So even, planes in Miami might be delayed because of something that happened in Chicago or Detroit. And it's just the way it works.
The most heavily affected cities include Denver, Detroit, and Minneapolis-St. Paul, and it could get even worse for the Twin Cities. National Weather Service says more than a foot of additional snow is possible in the area. The name of the journalist who was shot and killed while reporting from a murder scene in Orlando, Florida, is being released. Rory O'Neill reports.
Reporter Dylan Lyons was one of 3 people shot and killed in the Orlando neighborhood of Pine Hills. Just 24 years old and recently hired for his first big job. It's unclear if the gunman was targeting the reporter or the videographer.
The vehicle didn't look like a typical news vehicle with a lot of markings on it. It's possible that he could have mistaken them for law enforcement.
Sheriff John Meadham. After shooting at journalists, the gunman forced his way into a nearby home, shooting a woman and killing her 9-year-old daughter. That suspect is due in court today. Rory O'Neill, Orlando.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is expected to visit the site of the toxic train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio later today. Buttigieg will meet with community members whose lives have been disrupted by the Norfolk Southern train derailment nearly 3 weeks ago. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
The Kentucky Department for Community-Based Services is hiring. DCBS invites you to be part of an inclusive team of caring professionals that helps all Kentucky families through a rewarding career in family support or social services. They have job openings in their county offices across the state and offer great benefits like hybrid work schedule, competitive salary, paid holidays, and many opportunities for training and promotions, plus state employee discounts. Go online to chfs.ky.gov and enter DCBS jobs in the search field. It's a new day at DCBS. Join them, an equal opportunity employer, MFD.
Maybe you're not one of those frequent flyers, but sometimes you just want to hit the beach or see your new granddaughter or go to that out-of-state wedding. Whatever the reason for your getaway, if it involves flying in the U.S. or visiting a military base after May 7th, 2025, you'll need a Kentucky Real ID driver's license or an ID that is Real ID compliant. Make a plan to get your Kentucky Real ID now. Go to realidky.com.
3 people from the Northeast are dead after being caught in an avalanche in Washington state last weekend. Trey Thomas reports.
One mountain rescuer said the avalanche was triggered by a lead climber who was part of a group of 6 people on Colchuck Peak, about 70 miles outside of Seattle.
You can get very isolated pockets, areas that it's high danger and that you're not expecting it.
The victims were from New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. A 4th climber, a man from New York, was injured but managed to climb down the mountain with 2 other survivors to get help.
Women who receive abortions in South Carolina could be eligible for the death penalty. The South Carolina Prenatal Equal Protection Act would amend the state's constitution to define life as starting at the moment of fertilization. The measure would also make the state constitution's definition of person as including unborn children. The special counsel overseeing a criminal investigation of former President Trump is issuing subpoenas to Trump's daughter Ivanka and her husband Jared Kushner. Brian Shook reports.
The New York Times reports special counsel Jack Smith subpoenaed the two as part of his investigation into Trump's efforts to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Both Ivanka and Kushner served as senior White House advisors in the Trump administration. Smith previously issued a subpoena to former Vice President Pence, who says he will fight the demand for his testimony in court. I'm Brian Shook.
Harvey Weinstein will be sentenced today for the 2013 rape of an actress. The former movie producer was found not guilty of rape and other sexual abuse charges by a Los Angeles court last December. Prosecutors are calling for the 70-year-old Weinstein to receive the maximum penalty of 24 years in prison with no eligibility for parole. Weinstein has already been sentenced to 23 years in prison by a New York court for 2 different sexual assaults. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Is your heat or air conditioning acting up? Did you know new HVAC for your home no longer has to cost an arm and a leg? The HVAC outlet based here in Danville offers 2- and 3-ton heat pump complete change-outs for $39.95 or as low as $100 a month. The HVAC outlet offers a 10-year manufacturer's warranty on all parts. Call them today, 859-209-1112 or swing by 308 Fackler Street in Danville. It's 859-209-1112. The HVAC outlet in Danville servicing all of Central Kentucky.
Join the club and be a recycler. Boyle County Convenience Centers and Recycling Center take plastic types with the numbers 1 and 2 like drink bottles, ketchup bottles, laundry detergent, milk jugs rinsed out. Also cardboard and clean pizza boxes, no leftovers, paper and magazines, newspapers that are dry and never wet, metal food cans and electronics. Sorry, no TVs or glass. Put that in the trash. Drop these items off at the Boyle County Convenience Centers and Recycling Center.
Boyle County's our home, so let's keep it clean.
Good morning to you. It's Thursday. It's February the 23rd, and we're looking at sunshine starting to come through those clouds up above. And good day today. 76 is your high. Forecast coming your way. News first.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. The huge little cherub sale is back again and will begin a week from tomorrow. Danville's only 4 charity consignment sale will feature items from over 160 consigners, summer clothes, shoes, toys, games, feeding supplies, bath supplies, household items, pretty much anything you would need for a child from birth through the teenage years. It's Friday and Saturday, March 3rd and 4th at Centenary United Methodist Church in Danville. Ephraim McDowell Wellness Center is offering swim lessons and lifeguarding lessons, starting with group swim lessons. The first session will be Monday, March 20th through Thursday, March 30th. The second session, Monday, April 10th, and conclude on April 20th. Each lesson is 45 minutes long, and you can choose to attend the 4, 5, or 6 o'clock classes those nights. Meanwhile, for those looking to be certified in lifeguarding, that training will begin March the 1st. For questions, contact Carla Kurtzinger at 859-936-7219. A local band has been nominated for a Lexington Music Award. The band, named Taylor Road, is up for the Best Rock Band, Best Metal Band, and their lead guitarist, Stephen Lynch, is up for the Ben Lacey Guitarist Award for Excellence. Taylor Road features Danville natives Cam Davis and Jackson Ward, and Harrodsburg natives Stephen Lynch and Braden Pike. They were named after the garage where the band started on Taylor Road. The Lexington Music Award show will take place on March the 5th at the Lyric Theater and Cultural Arts Center. After a 2-year break to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Arts Commission of Danville and Boyle County is returning to in-person theater. The first play up is a play written by local playwright Liz Orndorff called The Tipping Point. It follows the story of a young man who faces challenges and was written as a way to talk with students about their decision-making. The plays will happen for Boyle students at the Performing Arts Center at Boyle County Middle School and for Danville students at Gravely Hall, and a public performance for people at Centerworks. That performance is actually tonight at 7 o'clock at the Centerworks building on the top floor of the Hub in Danville. The first alcohol license in the city has been given out. The KC News is reporting the 5-star convenience store on Liberty's Wallace Wilkinson Boulevard was the first to receive a license for the sale of alcoholic beverages within the city of Liberty. The sale of alcohol from that place makes it the first time anyone has ever been able to legally sell alcohol within Casey County. The county had been dry and remained dry since Prohibition. The city of Liberty went wet following the November vote, where about 60% of the Liberty voters voted in favor of turning the city wet. I'm Joe Mathis.
Listen to us on your smart speaker. Just ask to play our call letters. WHIR.
They done did it again. Gave a great deal and and made a new friend. Where's this, you say? Withers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Lawrenceburg is the way. With first-class service and a spin of the wheel. For some extra gifts after your new car deal, check out the inventory at ChryslerofLawrenceburg.com and head on down to US 127 to the new Withers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Lawrenceburg. Today is your deal of the day, and Withers Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Lawrenceburg is the way.
KSR, Kentucky Sports Radio, will be broadcasting their show live Friday, 10 a.m. to noon at the Danville Lee's Famous Recipe, 610 South 4th Street. Matt Jones and the KSR crew will be broadcasting their show live this Friday, 10 a.m. to noon at Danville's Lee's Famous Recipe, 610 South 4th Street. See you there.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
It's brought to you by our friends over at Danville Auto Body Shop. Top-of-the-line collision auto body repaired. Head to the mechanics at 315 Delahaye Street and call ahead for an appointment. 236-2299. That's 236-2299. That's Danville Auto Body Shop. Be it mostly sunny, a high of 76, a low tonight 36. Tomorrow, sunshine and 50. Saturday, 55. And Sunday, 59 is your high with sunshine. Good weekend for us in store. Right now, it is 8:10 in the morning, and we are looking at 58 degrees here in Danville. 238-9447. 238-WHIR as we see what's going on in this morning's sort of sports report. Taking a look at what's going on in sports news. Starting off, before we hop into the music part of it, Seattle Seahawks cornerback Tariq Woolen has thrown some serious shade at his team's former quarterback. Talking on the 2 Up, 2 Down podcast, Woolen talked about the first time he met Russell Wilson in person. He says it was funny because when he was in college and saw Wilson on TV, he looked like he was in shape. In person, however, Woolen says it's weird. He's built like a sack of potatoes. Here's Tariq Woolen talking about that on that podcast yesterday.
Seeing him in person, it was pretty funny because, like, on TV and stuff, you see him, like from college and stuff, you like, okay, he look in shape on TV. But you see him in person, it's like weird. He like a sack of potatoes.
That's story number 2 coming from the NBA, where going into the home stretch of the NBA regular season, both the Chicago Bulls and the LA Lakers are on the outside looking in when it comes to the playoffs. With Patrick Beverley now a member of his hometown Bulls, he's got one goal in mind: to knock out his former team. He made that clear in the Pat Bev podcast. The Bulls meet the Lakers twice before the regular season ends, so it remains to be seen if those two games end up being a pivotal difference maker for either team. That said, it's clear that Beverley has those two games against his former team marked and highlighted.
That's what I'm playing for. Who? Chicago Bulls. No, yeah, that. Yeah, he was hyped. So, yeah, I was hyped.
Yeah, so he's hyped, he's saying, to play for his hometown team. What else is going on in sports? Cue up the music, Blake. Starting out with the National Hockey League, where yesterday marked the return of Alex Ovechkin to the Washington Capitals. Ovechkin had been away for just over a week after flying to Russia to honor and remember his father, Mikhail, after his passing. During Ovechkin's absence, the Capitals went 0-4, and they hope to start getting back on the winning side of things with a visit from the Anaheim Ducks in front of the Washington home crowd today. The inaugural weekend of the XFL football drew an average of 1.19 million viewers between the 4 games. While that in itself isn't a defining predictor of how this season will go, it does invite the comparison against the ill-fated 2022 attempt at XFL and other spring football leagues. In 2020, the opening weekend of the XFL drew an average of 2.5 million viewers between all the games. The opening game of the Alliance of American Football in 2019 pulled in 3.25 million sets of eyes on CBS. The AAF closed shop after 8 weeks due to financial issues. Last April, a minor league version of the USFL kicked off with 3+ million viewers, with games simulcast on Fox and NBC. It is worth noting, however, that the Sunday XFL games were also competing against the NBA All-Star Game, the Daytona 500, and the Genesis Invitational, with week 2 of the XFL, starts tonight with the first of 2 Thursday night games to be held this season. The St. Louis Battlehawks visiting the Seattle Sea Dragons. So, the XFL, in terms of viewers, not doing very well in its opening weekend. Just 1.19 million viewers on average for those games. That's what's going on in this morning's Sort of Sports Report. More sports is coming up right here on the Hometown Radio Network with the Big Daddy. Before we hop into the Big Daddy Sports, McDonald's has introduced Shamrock Shake season for us. For those who love the minty milkshake and also the Shamrock Shake McFlurry. And I am registering people right now for a chance to win a $25 gift card and 2 customized You cannot buy them in store. McDonald's toboggans. They are shamrock-shaped, mint green colored, and they have the McDonald's M on them, so kind of like a collectible item type thing, though you can wear them around if you want to. If you called in yesterday, then there's no need to call back in today because I already have your name down. However, if you did not call in yesterday and you want a chance to win this $25 gift card from McDonald's and 2 shamrock-shaped, mint green colored toboggans, you can call in right now. Phone lines are open. We'll put your name down and draw a winner tomorrow. 238-9447 is the phone number to call in this morning. 238-WHIR. We'd love to have you call in and register your name to win these McDonald's gift cards, $25 worth from the 2 Shamrock Shake beanies. And we've got Randyisms coming up after this. Phone lines are open, 238-WHIR.
Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. And I prepared for this opportunity since this point last year. The Luck of the Irish is back at McDonald's of Danville and Harrodsburg. Yep, it is Shamrock Shake season. For a limited time only, that limited time being right now, you can get the iconic McDonald's Shamrock Shake. And because everything is better with Oreos, the Oreo Shamrock McFlurry is back as well. Vanilla soft serve with a Shamrock flavor full of Oreo pieces. I could tell you to go get one, or you can make your own luck. Shamrock Shake season for a limited time only at McDonald's of Danville and Harrodsburg.
Hello, Central Kentucky. I'm Steve Bertram with sports. We've talked about how even the boys' 45th district is. Last night it was on display in the semifinals as defending 12th region champion Lincoln County and Boyle County advanced to next week's 12th region tournament. In the opener, Danville's Owen Barnes hit a 3 with 1.4 seconds left to send the game into overtime at Lincoln County, but the Patriots got the only points of the extra period on a Jackson Sims 3 to beat the Admirals 54-51. In the second game, the Rebels rallied late to top Garrett County 74-69. Ethan Cooper put on a solid display for the Golden Lions with 38 points, while Tavy Quisenberry led the Rebels with 27. Other boys' scores in the 46th district semifinals: Mercer County nipped East Jessamine 67-64, and West Jessamine rolled over Trinity Christian 95-38. And in the 48th, Wayne County eliminated Southwestern 48-43. In the girls' 47th district finals, Pulaski County downed Somerset 57-49. In men's college basketball last night, Kentucky hit free throws down the stretch to win at Florida 82-74. Oscar Sheboy had 25 points to lead the Cats in scoring, while Jacob Toppin and Chris Livingston both turned in double-doubles. Toppin had 19 points and 11 rebounds, while Livingston added 10 points and 15 boards. Antonio Reeves had 16 points and Cason Wallace added 8. UK built a 15-point lead in the first half, but the Gators rallied to go up 37-36 at intermission. UK host Auburn Saturday afternoon on Z105. In other SEC action, number 2 Alabama edged South Carolina in overtime 78-76. It was Auburn 78, Ole Miss 74, and LSU 84, Vanderbilt 77. Hometown Radio brings you girls district championship games tonight. In the 45th at Lincoln County, Danville takes on Danville Christian Academy at 7 o'clock on Z105. In the 46th at Bergen, Mercer County faces West Jessamine at 7 on WHBN FM 99.5. Both games stream at hometownlive.net. That's sports. God bless America. I'm Steve Bertram on the Hometown Radio Network.
ADA Heating and Air. ADA is on the way. Large enough to serve you, small enough to care. Since 1984. ADA. Always on time with our professional team when we show up at your door. ADA. Residential and commercial, day or night. ADAHeatingandAir.com does it right. ADA Heating and Air. ADA is on the way.
Kentucky has one of the most expansive state park systems in the nation. For decades, the parks have been bringing people together for family reunions, fishing, hiking, and a wealth of other activities. What's your favorite memory of a Kentucky state park? Unfortunately, it takes more than governmental support to keep the parks vibrant. The Kentucky State Parks Foundation raises money to create educational programs for elementary school kids to connect them with nature, handicapable hiking trails, and the preservation of historical artifacts. Make a tax-deductible donation online at KentuckyStateParksFoundation.org.
Two Phillies have just arrived in Hardee's in Junction City. The new Philly cheesesteak burrito or Philly cheesesteak thick burger, both will make your tongue slap your brain happy. Hardee's now serves breakfast until noon on Saturday and Sunday. Catch the new Phillies at Hardee's of Junction City on the corner of Shelby Street and 127. Eat like you mean it.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
It's brought to you by our friends at Coel Collision Center and Cattleman's Roadhouse. Treat yourself to a delicious meal over at Cattleman's, where everyone in the family has certified something to tastify their taste buds. Cattleman's Roadhouse, Danville Bypass, where a great steak is truly just the beginning, and the best salad bar in town. Sunshine, a high today 76, a low of 36. Mostly sunny tomorrow, high of 50. Saturday, you get mostly cloudy, high of 55. Sunday, cloudy and 60. Right now, it's 8:20 in the morning. It's 58 degrees right here in Danville. Randy has Randyisms. Take it away, Randy.
Good morning, Sir Joe in the Know, and what another great day it is to get up and get at 'em. And if we don't believe it is a great day, just try missing one, right? I mean, with that attitude, we discover every day really is a great day. Well, Graham, you say that all the time. Well, of course I do, and we'll continue to do so because repetition is mother of learning and father of knowledge. And we don't always need to be told in life, but at times it is good to be reminded that this is a day the Lord hath made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it, even during the tough times, because tough times never last, but tough people do, don't they? And I tell you what this morning, you're thoroughbred tough. Pioneer patriot tough, you Phillies, you stallions. Yeah, I know you're out there. So rise, champions, rise this morning, right? Yes, attitude is contagious, and the question we must ask ourselves, is ours worth catching? Well, Joe, President Biden, is poking the Russian bully bear with his visit to Ukraine. Utterly stupid thing to do, but which is par for the course for this administration, showing that Biden has no understanding of the psychology of the bully mentality, in part because Biden's a bully himself. Almost like visiting your relative on the holidays who's being picked on and yelling across the yard and taunting the neighborhood bully. As I previously shared on a special segment on bullying on Saturday morning on the Kentucky Power Hour titled So Your Child Has Met the Bully, which teaches parents and grandparents, and I dare say school administrators who have the eyes to see and ears to hear, not only how to deal with, but how to defeat the bullying problem. But shared that countries are no different than the neighborhood bully on the block. Did you know that? I mean, psychologically speaking, countries have more in common with children than adults when it comes to dealing with each other. Yes, countries don't have friends, they have interest, just like friendships as children can sometimes be fickle. But the first rule in dealing with bullies is to understand there has always been and always will be bullies. It's just how we confront it. We don't dwell on it. We deal with it. Because dwelling only leads to fear, F-E-A-R, false evidence appearing real. But if it's real in the mind, then it becomes real in the heart. And fear can act as a poison or festering sore in the body that, if not confronted or cut out, can lead to the death or all types of psychological, emotional problems and frustrations. And it's the same with personalities of countries. Because it's action and knowledge that conquers fear. When I was a child, I once had a recurring nightmare where a monster would cause harm to my family. My dad shared with me that dreams are not real, and the next time I saw that monster, to just go up there and attack it. It was good advice, and the next time I had that dream, I attacked the monster, and I awoke from the nightmare. What I learned was that action conquered fear. And once we have the knowledge of what we're truly confronting and take action to deal with it, we become stronger than the monster, in this case, the bully. And in the real world, confronting the bully is no different. Sometimes you just got to bust them in the nose. Because a bully doesn't enjoy anything more than taunting the big guy who won't hit back, i.e. China. Like forcing down our spy plane flying over international waters during the Bush administration and then we having to apologize to get our people back. Or allowing a virus to willingly escape their shores to bring death to ours and then not bringing it up in negotiations. Manufacturing fentanyl and sending it to Mexican cartels. to be made into counterfeit drugs to kill our children, to the tune of over 100,000 deaths, and allowing a spy balloon to enter your airspace that transversed the country over sensitive military sites, taking pictures and gathering communication patterns, just seeing how far they can push the big neighborhood kid who won't hit back. And when it finishes its mission and out to sea, the big kid shoots it down. Now, to the bullying country, that's no different than the big kid walking back to the house after being hit, saying, "Please don't hit me again." And if you don't defend yourself, even the little guys start getting in on the fun. Yeah, sometimes you just got to bust the bully in the nose and remind them that you are the bigger and stronger one. And you don't have to be the biggest or strongest to stop the bullying from bothering you. You only have to make the bully feel pain, where the bully tells his friends, "I don't want to feel that pain again." But after bringing in the material and teaching your cousin how to lift weights to become stronger and assisting in the art of self-defense, you don't go up to the bully's yard and start taunting him in front of the neighbors like President Biden, because it causes him to have to save face and buck up for a potential gang fight. No, you just provide the material and knowledge. You don't go to his yard and call him out unless you're going to do the fighting alone. Because then you become just like the bully, and not a very smart one, which is why, in part, Biden's actions so appropriately earned himself the title of President Numbnuts. You know, Ukraine represents a scrappy little kid who's not afraid to take on the bully, but lacks the physical capabilities. But his heart and tenacity is worth defending. And since countries don't have friends but interests, they can be of value. And we are the provider of the weight machines and knowledge in helping them be prepared. But if you're going to go down this road, you don't do it piecemeal. You give them what they asked for in the beginning, to stop a potential invasion like Trump did, where they become so strong the bully doesn't want to start a fight, or allow them to feel so much pain early to ensure a quick victory before it escalates into a gang war. You also don't put red lines in the sand unless you're willing to carry them out. And you don't show weakness like the Afghanistan debacle, or allowing a spy balloon to transverse your country where the bullies lose respect. No, they need to fear what might happen if you push the wrong guy. Just like President Teddy Roosevelt in the early 1900s sending its fleet with its battleships around the world, painting them white so they would stand out to the rest of the world, sending a message, don't mess with the U.S. Yeah, walk and talk softly, but carry a big stick. Biden's weakness regarding Afghanistan and not confronting China and other policy blunders has led to a more dangerous world, where the bullies of the world will try and take advantage. Not against supporting Ukraine, but what about defending our own southern borders, which would send a message to both Russia and China, yeah, don't mess with the U.S. Instead, China's poisoning our children with fentanyl, and spy balloons fly the friendly skies. Where now, with President Biden, General Silly Millie's broke woke policies, even recruitment is down for the military. Well, no wonder. Requiring vaccinations for the Kung Fu flu, and Millie lecturing Congress that he's more interested in him and the military understanding white rage, and more interested in diversity and equity instead of killing and blowing up our adversaries. Well, no wonder recruitment is down. Folks, they aren't woke, they're just dreaming while creating a nightmare scenario for us all. Men who are natural warriors do not want to be led at the risk of life by a milquetoast mentality as General Silly Millie. Consummate coward who likes to talk tough but afraid of big balloons, kissing Chinese heinies. Then having a compromised mouse in the White House where President Xi has become the Biden family's own personal fortune cookie. You know what's wrong with the clowns we have in the Biden administration running our country today? The power is in the position and not the person. And that's a dangerous thing when it comes to leadership. You want to know if a person has real power? Remove the position. Many will meander into irrelevance because the power was in the position and not the person. And the weakness of such personalities are they have to bolster their own inadequacies by the position to where they feel emboldened and ironically become just like the bully on the neighborhood block, even within their own little world. Yeah, everything becomes political and revengeful, from demanding the military to take the Kung Fu vaccine or be forced out in an attempt to wean out free thinkers or conservatives, to refusing to go to an Ohio town poisoned by a derailed train because they happen to have voted 70% for Trump. For example, the appointment of Tinkerbell to head the United States Department of Transportation. I mean, did you see this? Where Transportation Secretary Buttigieg, who now after Trump visiting East Palestine yesterday has decided to visit it today, but he was walking with his husband, and a reporter asked him why he hadn't visited East Palestine, Ohio, and he refused to answer. saying, check out my earlier comments. I'm on personal time now. But then, in an act of intimidation, Tinkerbell, Booty Judge, said, do you mind if I take a picture with you? Ooh, yeah, the power in the position and not the person can easily lead to a bully mentality, which defines the Biden administration. Yes, in poking the Russian bear, we have met the bully, and he is us.
Randy Graham, the thoughts of Randy Graham. Those are Randy Graham's thoughts Tuesdays and Thursdays right here on WHIR Danville News Talk Sports 103.9 FM. We're a minute away from bottom hour news right here on The Joe Show.
If you're tired of working a job and ready and in need of a career change, the next 55 seconds could change your life. Parker Megan in Danville is in need of talent, and they're holding open interviews this Thursday all day long at 190 Corporate Drive. If you want job security and stability, they've invested over $100 million in operation expansion and growth at the Danville location, featuring $2 per hour night shift premium and a rotating schedule that allows you to be off half of the year while getting full-time pay and benefits. With affordable comprehensive health insurance that's effective within 30 days, paid holidays, paid sick time, paid parental leave, 401k matching, and more. Health insurance option with $600 deductible. They are a safe aerospace manufacturer with a family-oriented and inclusive work environment. The future you've been looking for is as close as Parker Megan in Danville, 190 Corporate Drive. Just bring your resume to Parker Megan this Thursday with open interviews all day long in Danville at 190 Corporate Drive. Parker Megan, they enable you to become extraordinary.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
The Kentucky House has passed a bill that would make Kentucky a Second Amendment sanctuary state. With more is Paul Miles.
Sponsored by Republican Representative Josh Bray, the measure would prohibit the enforcement of a federal ban or regulation of guns and ammunition.
Why this is so important is it ensures our fellow Kentuckians that the city police, the sheriffs, or the state police aren't going to roll up and enforce this unconstitutional ban.
Voicing opposition is Democrat Josie Raymond.
When we pass legislation that salutes guns over the lives of Kentuckians, we're making it known who we really serve. This is lunacy, Mr. Speaker. This is idiocy, and I vote no.
The measure now goes to the Senate. A similar bill was introduced last year. It passed the House but died in the Senate. I'm Paul Miles.
Fearing a bill to curb gender transition would be fast-tracked through a Kentucky House Judiciary Committee hearing without it being placed on the agenda, several LGBTQ+ activists showed up in Frankfort Wednesday. Jonathan Lowe is the father of a 16-year-old transgender child currently receiving such treatment. He tells WLKY-TV,
I actually think it will result in many child suicides because gender-affirming care is actually health care and helps young people who are transgender be comfortable in their bodies, be happy in their bodies.
HB 470 would prohibit anyone from providing gender transition services to anyone under the age of 18. Juneteenth could soon be recognized as a state holiday in Kentucky. Senator Gerald Neal filing Senate Bill 270 in Frankfort. It comes a year after Neal tried and failed to get similar legislation passed. I'm Sean McCormick.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
At Don Franklin Family of Dealerships, save thousands all month long on over 4,500 new and used vehicles from any of our 23 locations. We have the largest selection in Kentucky. Choose from any brand at any time at DonFranklinAuto.com. We offer easy financing and free delivery of any vehicle to the closest Don Franklin location near you. Don Franklin, Nicholasville, Mitsubishi. Don Franklin Family of Dealerships, celebrating 50 years of respect and trust. Visit DonFranklinAuto.com. Don Franklin, Nicholasville, Mitsubishi.
Oh, it is so true. A nasty car don't run good. You want to make sure you get your car running great by looking great. Go to Thoroughbred Car Wash off Perryville Road, Danville. Your car will love you for it. Nothing better than a clean car from Thoroughbred Car Wash, Danville.
At the car wash. Working at the car wash, yeah.
That's Thoroughbred Car Wash in the Big Lot Shopping Center.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update. The huge little cherub sale is back again and will begin a week from tomorrow. Danville's only for charity consignment sale will feature items from over 160 consigners, summer clothes, shoes, toys, games, feeding supplies, bath supplies, household items, pretty much anything you would need for a child from birth through the teenage years. It's Friday and Saturday, March 3rd and 4th at Centenary United Methodist Church in Danville. Ephraim McDowell Wellness Center is offering swim lessons and lifeguarding lessons, starting with group swim lessons. The first session will be Monday, March 20th through Thursday, March 30th. The second session, Monday, April 10th, and conclude on April 20th. Each lesson is 45 minutes long, and you can choose to attend the 4, 5, or 6 o'clock classes those nights. Meanwhile, for those looking to be certified in lifeguarding, that training will begin March the 1st. For questions, contact Carla Kurtzinger at 859-936-7219. A local band has been nominated for a Lexington Music Award. The band, named Taylor Road, is up for the Best Rock Band, Best Metal Band, and their lead guitarist, Stephen Lynch, is up for the Ben Lacey Guitarist Award for Excellence. Taylor Road features Danville natives Cam Davis and Jackson Ward, and Harrodsburg natives Stephen Lynch and Braden Pike. They were named after the garage where the band started on Taylor Road. The Lexington Music Award show will take place on March the 5th at the Lyric Theater and Cultural Arts Center. After a 2-year break to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Arts Commission of Danville and Boyle County is returning to in-person theater. The first play up is a play written by local playwright Liz Orndorff called The Tipping Point. It follows the story of a young man who faces challenges and was written as a way to talk with students about their decision-making. The plays will happen for Boyle students at the Performing Arts Center at Boyle County Middle School and for Danville students at Gravely Hall, and a public performance for people at Centerworks. That performance is actually tonight at 7 o'clock at the Centerworks building on the top floor of the Hub in Danville. The first alcohol license in the city has been given out. The KC News is reporting the 5-star convenience store on Liberty's Wallace-Wilkinson Boulevard was the first to receive a license for the sale of alcoholic beverages within the city of Liberty. The sale of alcohol from that place makes it the first time anyone has ever been able to legally sell alcohol within Casey County. The county had been dry and remained dry since Prohibition. The city of Liberty went wet following the November vote, where about 60% of the Liberty voters voted in favor of turning the city wet. I'm Joe Mathis.
Did you know there's only one full-service jewelry store in 5 counties? And it's not at the mall, and it's not a national chain or any box store. I'm talking about B&L Jewelers right here in the Danville Manor Shopping Center. This is Lauren. Our prices and quality cannot be matched, and everything you purchase from B&L Jewelers is backed by a free lifetime guarantee. The mall and department store folks make big money selling their guarantees to folks who don't know about us. We offer full services that can't be matched by anyone. Any type of jewelry repair or remount, or just answers to simple questions from a real jeweler on site right here in our store. We know that your jewelry is precious to you, so we do all of our repairs in-house and in an average of 3 days. We can take care of all your engraving needs, from simple plaques to major corporate logos, even those champagne or wine bottles for those special occasions, all done here by your trusted jeweler. We believe in treating our clients like friends, not like customers. We have a free 6-month layaway. We offer up to 60 months financing, 12 months same as cash financing, no credit check financing available as well. Why would you go anywhere else? B&L Jewelers is the only intelligent choice for all your jewelry needs.
Authentic Mexican grocery store, cakes, fresh produce, piñatas, boots, belts, and more. La Michoacana Mexican grocery store. Family owned and operated, offering the best Mexican products created. La Michoacana Mexican grocery store. And to make your tummy smile, Taco Yumas, their on-site food truck that's also available for catering and events. So where do you go for authentic Mexican product? La Michoacana Mexican grocery store in Danville on Houstonville Road.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
It's brought to you by who? It's brought to you by the HVAC outlet right here in Danville, offering the best ductless mini splits you can install yourself, or they can help you with installation. They're one of the largest distributors in Kentucky. They have heat pumps with 10-year parts warranties and financing available. Call before you buy anywhere else and get the outlet price from the HVAC outlet in Danville. Mostly sunny, a high of 76, low tonight 36. Tomorrow sunny and 50 is the high. Saturday mostly cloudy, 55. Sunday cloudy and 60s the high. It's 8:39 in the morning right now. It's 58 degrees right here in Danville. 238-9447 is the phone number to call in this morning. 238-WHIR. I'd love to have you on the radio this morning. It's being reported that although King Charles will not leave Prince Andrew homeless, he's not going to, just boot him out of the royal family and let him survive on his own. He does want Prince Andrew to remain kind of back in the shadows, out of the public eye. So if you feel bad for Prince Andrew, there's a way you can donate. You can support Prince Andrew right now.
It's a problem plaguing my palace. Prince Andrew hanging around even though he's not wanted here. Now you can help. Yes, now is your chance to take Prince Andrew into your home so he can live there.
I'm not really comfortable doing that.
No? Okay then. Well, then you can give some money and he can find a place to live. I don't care where it is, as long as it isn't around me.
Okay, fine.
And every month I'll send you a picture of Prince Andrew so you can see what he's up to.
Ew, I definitely don't want to see any of that.
I'm sure it isn't that bad, and oh, egads, I won't show you this picture, or this one, yikes. So won't you please take in Prince Andrew, or find him a place to live, away from me? Call now. I'll be glad you did.
There you go. Support Prince Andrew. Let's see what's going on in Grub Gab, the world of food. Just eat it. Starting off with Applebee's, they're returning a fan favorite, the dozen double crunch shrimp and steak deal this winter at participating nationwide locations for a limited time only. It's a pretty simple special. Get 12 double crunch shrimp for just $1 with the purchase of any steak entree, good for dine-in, to-go, or delivery. Steak entrees that qualify include 6 or 8-ounce top sirloin, the shrimp and Parmesan sirloin, or the Bourbon Street steak. Just order one of those and you add a dozen double crunch shrimp for just $1. The shrimp are served with a side of cocktail sauce for dipping. You should also be aware that there's a limit of one add-on order of double crunch shrimp for $1 with each steak entree order. So you can only get the 1 dozen for $1. You can't get 2 dozen for another $1, 3 dozen for nothing. You can't do that. It's just a dozen. Hey, Ed Sheeran is joining the celebrity world of celebrities branching out from what got them famous to expand their portfolios. Kristen Bell, for example, co-owns a granola bar company. You have Jennifer Gardner created her own line of organic baby food. John Bon Jovi has his own pasta sauce, things like that. So Ed Sheeran has now decided to make his own mark in the food world by creating his own unique hot sauce brand called Tingly Ted's. Sheeran shared a commercial video of Instagram announcing the news and creating a custom jingle for the new hot sauce. Tingly Ted's makes your tongue tingle, Sheeran says, while clinking a spoon against some glasses filled with water. The singer also says in his Instagram video that he aimed to create a hot sauce that had the same consistency and pride as ketchup, which is arguably one of the most beloved condiments. As of February the 21st, so 2 days ago, 2023, there are 2 varieties of Sheeran's Tingly Ted's hot sauce, Tingly and Extra Tingly. And hey, Minnesota-based dairy company Kemp's has found a creative way to introduce kids to cottage cheese. They just took the lumps out. Kim's has released a line of smooth cottage cheese with fruit blends that look like yogurt. As for being a healthy snack, there are probiotics and no high fructose corn syrup. There are 3 flavors, mixed berry, strawberry, and strawberry banana. To add more interest for children, they've teamed up with Hasbro to bring cartoon characters like PJ Masks and Peppa Pig to the packaging. That's one thing. I've never had cottage cheese ever in my entire life, and that's one thing, the lumps. I can't get over the consistency of it, so they rolling it out for kids. Maybe they can do it for kid-like adults as well, like me. New cottage cheese without lumps. You've also got Ed Sheeran in his own hot sauce, and Applebee's returning the Double Crunch shrimp for $1 with any steak entree. And that's what's going on in Grub Gab, the world of food. You can just eat it. It's 8:42 in the morning. I forgot to do Wedding Planning with Pim, which usually comes up before Grub Gab. So let's circle back around and get Wedding Planning with Pim on here on the Joe Show, and Gardening with James is after that.
Hi, I'm Pim Stewart Clark, and this is Wedding Planning with Pim. Because 70% of couples are paying for their wedding themselves, chances are that your savings, Mr. Groom, are quickly being depleted. Even if you aren't sharing in the cost of the wedding, you're undoubtedly being saddled with incidental expenses like your share of the florist bill, the clergyman's fee, your marriage license, and the rental or purchase of your wedding attire. And you have expenses that are exclusively yours: the getaway vehicle, the gift for your bride, and the honeymoon. And don't forget the engagement and wedding rings. I have suggestions that come from actual grooms regarding the bride's engagement ring. Catch a great sale at your favorite jewelry store. Or, if you're lucky, there may be a lovely heirloom ring in your family, an antique setting from your great-grandmother. Indeed, an heirloom ring may be the most poignant, touching gift you can give your bride. When it comes to wedding bands, used gold is easy to round up. Many couples are having their bands poured from old gold jewelry. One groom took broken chains and some old gold rings to his jeweler, hoping the total weight would be enough to create a chunky wedding band for his bride. The result? The old rings alone were more than enough for a wide band that would have retailed for over $1,600. My love note for today: an engagement ring need not be a diamond.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Did you know there's only one full-service jewelry store in 5 counties? And it's not at the mall, and it's not a national chain or any box store. I'm talking about B&L Jewelers right here in the Danville Manor Shopping Center. This is Lauren. Our prices and quality cannot be matched, and everything you purchase from B&L Jewelers is backed by a free lifetime guarantee. The mall and department store folks make big money selling their guarantees to folks who don't know about us. We offer full services that can't be matched by anyone. Any type of jewelry repair or remount, or just answers to simple questions from a real jeweler on site right here in our store. We know that your jewelry is precious to you, so we do all of our repairs in-house and in an average of 3 days. We can take care of all your engraving needs, from simple plaques to major corporate logos, even those champagne or wine bottles for those special occasions, all done here by your trusted jeweler. We believe in treating our clients like friends, not like customers. We have a free 6-month layaway. We offer up to 60 months financing, 12 months same as cash financing, no credit check financing available as well. Why would you go anywhere else? B&L Jewelers is the only intelligent choice for all your jewelry needs.
Car Express Wash. Don't drive dirty.
Unlimited wash memberships are the best way to take care of your car. Save money and wash for as little as $1 a day at Car Express Wash. Free vacuums with every paid visit. Undercarriage blasters are available on all washes, family plans, fleet accounts, veterans and first responder discounts. Ask about their discount and loyalty cards. Car Express Wash, Danville Bypass, Big Blue Building.
Car Express Wash. Don't drive dirty. Car Express Wash.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, Cartown Kia has you covered. If you have a job taking home over $350 a week, we have over 20 lenders that want to approve you. So shop and save with confidence.
Take home a 2018 Kia Optima or a 2022 Kia Rio. Just $88 down and $299 per month.
Come see us at Cartown Kia and CartownKiaUSA.com.
Example, 2018 Kia Optima and 2022 Kia Rio. Only select in stock makes and models with approved credit. $88 payment, $299 per month, plus tax, title, license, stock, and acquisition fee. Subject to fire sale law supplies last. Price may not include dealer added options. See dealer for details.
Some Kentucky families will have to take out private student loans to help cover college expenses. Private student loans generally have higher interest rates than student loans offered by the federal government, so it's important to compare private loan lenders to see who has the best deal for you. The Advantage Education Loan, Kentucky's only nonprofit private student loan, offers a very competitive rate. Learn more at AdvantageEducationLoan.com.
We love NASCAR. Catch the races here on WHIR AM 1230.
Hey, KSR's coming tomorrow to Lee's Famous Recipe. And if you want to see Matt Jones and Ryan Lemond and the crew there at Lee's tomorrow, 10 o'clock until noon. So take your radios with you. I don't know why you take your radios with you. They're doing the show right in front of you.
Right.
But I guess take your radios with you, get there early so you can listen to the end of this show.
Right.
Which is far and away more important than Kentucky Sports Radio. At least in one man's opinion, that man being me.
Right.
Come on now.
Right.
Now,
Right.
KSR obviously is an awesome show. It once again, with the ratings for people in like the age 18 to 35 age range or something like that, it's just like number one almost in the nation. It's just ridiculous.
I mean, I've listened to it, pretty regular.
Yeah.
They've got some pretty good stuff on there.
Yeah, it's an entertaining show to where, like, like even if you don't like sports, right, you can listen to the show because they're just idiots on there.
Yeah, they're just having fun.
They just have fun, right?
Yeah.
It's just guys having fun.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can have fun as well on this show. That's my whole goal, right? I don't want to be a Sammy serious.
Not all the time.
No, sometimes you got to be serious.
Sometimes you got to be.
Sometimes the seriousness comes in, but
That's right.
don't wake people up on the right side of the bed. Make sure they have a good start to their morning, things like that.
That's right.
All right, James the Gardener, speaking of good starts to our morning. It's James the Gardener. He's on here to give us a gardening tip.
And now, for the next few minutes, the man with the jolly green thumb and the big straw hat is going to tell us where it's at. Gardening with James, that's the name. Growing good food, that's our aim. Working in our garden every day. Well, we might not be all that pretty, but we don't mind getting all dirty and gritty. Growing our food the natural way. Yes, we're gardening with James, the natural way. Let's dig it, James.
All right, then, James, what's going on? Let's dig it.
Man, these last couple of days of nice weather, it allowed me to get out and because this time of season, I've got to try to get in shape because I know what's coming, so I was able to get out and get started early, put some flower beds together outside and, start going around and, my bushes and stuff, breaking off dead branches, just the things that I do. And it's been a lot of fun, but it just wore me out, because
You're out of gardening shape, huh?
Yeah. Well, because after being, say, 2 or 3 months off.
Cooped up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now I get outside and, within 2 or 3 hours, see, I'm just wore out.
Yeah.
But I was able to get 12 bags of leaves raked up.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's at one spot. And then another 7 bags on the other side. I mean, and it takes a little while because the ground is too wet for me to bring my my tractor and things like that out without messing up the grass. So I ended up having to do it with a rake. But yeah, it was good stuff. Things are coming together, and like I say, we're still working at the planter boxes. For Center College and the Shepherd's House and Batewood. Getting our cow panel. So this way to go over the arches. So we're still getting those kind of things going, and it's been fun. Like I said, I just need about another 3 days of sunshine. That's all I ask for.
You're going to get it today, tomorrow, Saturday. So there it is.
Hey.
Wish granted, James.
Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate that.
It is not my decision. If it was, I would still give you what you wanted, but that's I get to choose the weather. I just read it off this paper.
I'll take it.
The paper gives me the weather, and I read the weather from the paper. So you get 3 more days of sunshine, James.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Gardening with James, Tuesdays and Thursdays right here on the Joe Show on WHIR. All right, James, before you go, here's an interesting topic. We like to do top 10 countdowns here on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And today we have a top 10 countdown. There's a thread online where people are sharing the everyday activities that they do that they've been doing wrong for years, and maybe they didn't realize they were doing it wrong for years. And let's face it, we've all failed to notice something obvious. So here we go, James.
Mm-hmm.
So they give an example here.
Okay.
So in this little piggy went to the market, this little piggy went home, this little piggy did this. You've heard that before?
Mm-hmm.
It says the little piggy probably didn't go to the market to go shopping.
Okay. Why not?
Maybe the little piggy was being used for barbecue pulled pork.
That's a possibility.
That's why that pig went to the market. They were being sold. I mean, it's pig, right?
Yeah.
So someone who wants a pig for some bacon has got to buy a pig from somewhere.
They'll go to the market.
They're going to go to the market to buy a pig at market price.
Yeah.
So obvious things like that maybe we just brush over and didn't realize, James.
Yeah, that's one of them.
So here we go, a top 10 countdown of the everyday activities that we do that people have been potentially doing wrong for years, and this is kind of like a life hack type thing as well. So we may give you some tips in this segment that you never realized. It is a top 10 countdown. Top 10 countdown. Here we go, James. A top 10 list of things we've been doing wrong for years, starting off as we always do with number 10.
Number 10.
All right, if your candle wax has not burned on the edges, put a piece of tinfoil over the unburnt edges, and it will start to burn evenly.
Oh, that makes sense.
So there you go.
That makes sense.
If you want your candle to burn evenly, some of them, they got like drips of wax and jagged edges. Or not like it's jagged, it's going to cut you, but it's just not even.
Yeah.
It says put candle wax on the edges of your candle. It'll burn evenly. That's number 10.
Number 9.
Use a gift card to sign up for free trials online. Some say it works with an empty Visa prepaid card, so you put an empty card in that has no money on it whatsoever.
Right.
You can try a free trial online. Now, you know what happens after the free trial. They want to charge you after the 30-day free trial.
Price.
Without letting you know about it.
Yep.
If you like the free trial, then you keep it. You put a new debit card in there, another card number. If not, you've got a free trial. You haven't used any money whatsoever, and they can't charge you because your card has no money on it to begin with.
Yeah. Good stuff.
There you go. Here's another one. Rebecca figured this one out, kind of on that same line. So every Christmas, Cattleman's does this deal where if you buy a $50 gift card, they give you $10 free, or like a $100 gift card, they give you $10 free.
Right.
Well, we took Rebecca's parents and some family members out, and we knew the price was going to be over $100.
Right.
So Rebecca went and bought a gift card for $100, got the $10 free, used the gift card to pay for the meal. We got 10 extra bucks to Cattleman's.
Hey, that's a good deal.
Got to use your mind. That's number 10.
Right.
Or sorry, number 9. Let's go to number 8 now.
Number 8.
The inside shower curtain goes inside the tub to keep the floor outside dry. I knew that. That's the shower liner.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you're taking a bath, then you don't want the shower liner inside the bath with you. That would be weird. But if you're taking a shower, inside liner goes inside the tub. Okay. That one's pretty easy. Let's go to number 7.
Number 7.
To open bananas, you can watch a monkey and see the way they do it. They open from bottom to top, not top to bottom, which apparently is much easier. I don't see how it could be because the top has like the little tab or whatever that you're supposed to pull down, but apparently
break off.
That's the way that monkeys do it. In the wild, they eat them or peel them from the bottom to the top.
Maybe I'll try it.
Try it out. We'll see what happens. That's number 7. Number 6 on the obvious things that we have been doing wrong for years.
Number 6.
To wrap a towel around your waist after a shower, don't tuck the hem inwards. Instead, fold it outwards and down. It's much more secure. So you take the top and you fold it outwards and fold it down.
Yeah.
instead of tucking the top inwards.
Just kind of like making yourself a belt.
Yeah, kind of like making a belt. Exactly right. That's number 6. Let's go to number 5. The obvious things that we do, and we do it wrong.
Number 5.
Rinsing your hair with hot water can leave your hair fizzy and dry. That's apparently not the case if you use cold water. People say if you use both shampoo and conditioner, rinse the shampoo with warm water, the conditioner with the coldest water you can stand. That's the best thing for your hair. James, I know that you do that every day, don't you?
On a regular basis.
There you go.
Number 4.
To open a beverage can with a tab that's flush with the top, just push down on the hinge of the tab. It'll raise the other end up. You can get a better grip of the tab. Pop it open. You've got yourself a soda.
Okay.
That maybe you couldn't get open to begin with because the hinge was flush with the top. That's number 4. Number 3 in the obvious everyday things we do and maybe doing wrong.
Number 3.
Sliding your thumb on the space bar of your phone moves the cursor of the phone. So, I've done this before. If you forgot a word in the middle of a text and you try to tap where that space is and your fingers are too fat, you can't get it to that one exact space, use the phone cursor on your space bar. Hold your thumb or finger down and you can move it to wherever you want to go inside that text. That's number 3. Very quickly, let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
Don't waste celery if it goes limp and loses its crunch in the fridge. Soak it in water overnight. I guess it'll stand back up. And we went so long, James, our music went away. I've never done that before. Let's get to number 1, though.
All right.
Yeah, we got to end the countdown on 2 just because the music stopped.
Number 1.
That's what it sounds like without the music. Number 1. You can take the silverware basket out of the dishwasher to unload it, or even to load it. That's an interesting thought. The silverware basket that you put in the dishwasher, I've never actually taken it out. But I have to, bend down, turn back around, bend down. If I just unload the entire basket, I can just set it there on top of the countertop, right above where I load the silverware in, and just start unloading stuff quickly. And there you go, James. 10 life hacks.
I can use 8 of them.
You can use about 8 out of 10. That's good. 80%, I'll take that.
Yeah, that's all right.
If 80% of my show is beneficial to someone and 20% is nonsense, that's a pretty good margin right there. I'll take that.
It's all good.
Hey, coming up at the 9 o'clock hour, 9:10, Boyle County Judge Executive Trilly Bottom will join us on the show this morning. We'll talk with Judge Bottom about a variety of things, starting off with the Parksville Water District Boil Water Advisory has been lifted, so that's good news.
Okay.
For those people in Parksville, we'll talk with Judge Bottom about that. 9:35, Congressman James Comer will join us this morning here on the show for the first time since he has been elected congressman to represent us here in Boyle County. We'll talk with him at 9:35.
Farmers National Bank invites you to flash your school spirit by offering you debit cards created especially for your school, including Boyle County High School, Bergen Independent School, Center College, Danville High School, Danville Christian Academy, Garrett County High School, Kentucky School for the Deaf, Lincoln County High School, and Mercer County High School. Flash your school spirit with Farmers National Bank, your lifetime bank. Certain restrictions may apply. See your Farmers National Bank representative for complete details. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
This is the talk of the town, AM 1230, and now on FM 103.9, WHIR Danville, powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is visiting the site of the toxic train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. While there, he'll meet with community members whose lives have been disrupted by the Norfolk Southern train derailment. The crash earlier this month resulted in the release of toxic chemicals and temporarily forced thousands of people to evacuate. A man in Florida is accused of shooting and killing 3 people, including a TV reporter and a 9-year-old girl. The reporter with Spectrum News 13 was killed, and a photographer is in critical condition after a gunman opened fire Wednesday afternoon at a crime scene just west of Orlando. Coverage was emotional as reporters talked about the attack on their colleagues.
There are people here who knew that reporter, who his fiance and I were just embracing. This is every reporter's absolutely worst nightmare.
Other TV crews at the scene provided first aid until EMS arrived. Orange County Sheriff John Mina says a 19-year-old man has been arrested for the shooting and that it's unclear if the suspect knew the victims were with the media. A massive winter storm is making a mess of U.S. air travel. FlightAware says more than 750 flights have been canceled so far today. The Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport is once again the top trouble spot. Meteorologist Angie Lassman with more on the storm.
We still have millions under winter alerts, but we're also dealing with wind chill alerts for much of the plains. And here's why. That Arctic air has settled in. It feels like minus 31 in Rapid City right now, so pretty incredible cold.
The Biden administration is cutting mortgage insurance fees to help more Americans become homeowners. The change will save an estimated $850,000 low-end, middle-income, and first-time home buyers an average of $800 on home financing costs. The new policy takes effect on March 20th. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Maybe you're not one of those frequent flyers, but sometimes you just want to hit the beach or see your new granddaughter or go to that out-of-state wedding. Whatever the reason for your getaway, if it involves flying in the U.S. or visiting a military base after May 7th, 2025, you'll need a Kentucky Real ID driver's license or an ID that is Real ID compliant. Make a plan to get your Kentucky Real ID now. Go to realidky.com.
The Kentucky Department for Community-Based Services is hiring. DCBS invites you to be part of an inclusive team of caring professionals that helps all Kentucky families through a rewarding career in family support or social services. They have job openings in their county offices across the state and offer great benefits like hybrid work schedule, competitive salary, paid holidays, and many opportunities for training and promotions, plus state employee discounts. Go online to chfs.ky.gov and enter DCBS jobs in the search field. It's a new day at DCBS. Join them, an equal opportunity employer, MFD.
Court resumes today in South Carolina in the Alex Murdaugh double murder trial. The disbarred lawyers' defense team is expected to rest their case by week's end. It's still not entirely clear whether Murdaugh will take the stand. On Wednesday, the defense asked the judge hearing the case to limit the scope of cross-examination if Murdaugh does in fact testify. The judge denied that request. Facebook parent company Meta is planning to cut thousands of jobs despite the CEO predicting no more layoffs. Mark Mayfield with more.
The Washington Post reports that the company is getting set to put some leaders into lower-level roles without direct reports. Other leaders may end up overseeing a higher number of workers as teams grow bigger. Some inside the company expect employees whose jobs have been converted to eventually quit, which will trim Meta's workforce by default. The cuts will likely not happen on a single day, but will happen across the company over the next few months.
Theater goers seeing the revival of the Broadway musical Parade are being met with protesters. Trey Thomas explains.
Actor Ben Platt, who plays the lead character, Leo Frank, took to social media condemning the protesters.
And it was definitely very ugly and scary, but a wonderful reminder of why we're telling this particular story and how special and powerful art, and particularly theater, can be.
Tuesday night, before a preview of the show, audience members dealt with anti-Semitic protest from a group of neo-Nazis that gathered outside. Parade is about Leo Frank, a Jewish man who was lynched in 1915. I'm Trey Thomas.
Well, apparently that's not true. The vast majority of Americans say they're satisfied with how their personal lives are going. That's according to a new Gallup poll, which says 83% rate themselves as very or somewhat satisfied. The survey broke down into numerous categories, and a person's family life led all satisfaction ratings at 90%. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
I don't think it's a terrible idea to give more power back to the states, and then Americans would probably choose in greater numbers. We see a mass migration now. Florida's taking in nearly 1,000 new residents a day. New York and California are losing about 1,000 residents a day, in large part because of governance and how bad it is, and high taxes and burdensome regulation. And people are leaving with their wallets and their feet, and they're moving to Texas, they're moving to Florida, they're moving to Tennessee, they're moving to the Carolinas in bigger and bigger numbers. The national divorce would be, taking away the power of the federal government, limiting that power, and giving more power to the states to decide.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
I want to remind you about something that you wouldn't think could happen, but it can, and it's people can steal your home. My friend had his home stolen. The crime is home title theft. It's real. It's horrendous, but it's real, and it's everywhere. Now, luckily, this was just a demo, but I saw how criminals all around the world target American homeowners, and that's why I protect my home with Home Title Lock, and you need to as well. And a thief can simply forge your signature on a legal document claiming you sold your home to them. Homeowners insurance and common identity theft programs do not protect you, but Home Title Lock does. They want to give you an absolutely free, no obligation verification that your home is still in your name. You register for 30 days of protection for free. Just go to HometitleLock.com, promo code Sean, an absolutely free, no obligation. That's HometitleLock.com, promo code Sean.
If you're tired of working a job and ready and in need of a career change, the next 55 seconds could change your life. Parker Megan in Danville is in need of talent, and they're holding open interviews this Thursday all day long at 190 Corporate Drive. If you want job security and stability, they've invested over $100 million in operation expansion and growth at the Danville location, featuring $2 per hour night shift premium and a rotating schedule that allows you to be off half of the year while getting full-time pay and benefits. With affordable comprehensive health insurance that's effective within 30 days, paid holidays, paid sick time, paid parental leave, 401k matching, and more. Health insurance option with $600 deductible. They are a safe aerospace manufacturer with a family-oriented and inclusive work environment. The future you've been looking for is as close as Parker Megan in Danville, 190 Corporate Drive. Just bring your resume to Parker Megan this Thursday with open interviews all day long in Danville at 190 Corporate Drive. Parker Megan, they enable you to become extraordinary.
Good morning to you. It is Thursday. It's the fourth Thursday of the month, February 23rd. It's also the last Thursday of the month. A week from today will be on March the 2nd in our calendar. And 4 Thursdays mean we talk with Boyle County Judge Executive Trilly Bottom. And we've got Judge Bottom coming up after news.
This is a Hometown Radio Network information update.
The huge Little Cherub sale is back again and will begin a week from tomorrow. Danville's only for-charity consignment sale will feature items from over 160 consigners, summer clothes, shoes, toys, games, feeding supplies, bath supplies, household items, pretty much anything you would need for a child from birth through the teenage years. It's Friday and Saturday, March 3rd and 4th at Centenary United Methodist Church in Danville. Ephraim McDowell Wellness Center is offering swim lessons and lifeguarding lessons, starting with group swim lessons. The first session will be Monday, March 20th through Thursday, March 30th. The second session, Monday, April 10th, and conclude on April 20th. Each lesson is 45 minutes long, and you can choose to attend the 4, 5, or 6 o'clock classes those nights. Meanwhile, for those looking to be certified in lifeguarding, that training will begin March the 1st. For questions, contact Carla Kurtzinger at 859-936-7219. A local band has been nominated for a Lexington Music Award. The band, named Taylor Road, is up for the Best Rock Band, Best Metal Band, and their lead guitarist, Stephen Lynch, is up for the Ben Lacey Guitarist Award for Excellence. Taylor Road features Danville natives Cam Davis and Jackson Ward, and Harrodsburg native Stephen Lynch and Braden Pike. They were named after the garage where the band started on Taylor Road. The Lexington Music Award show will take place on March the 5th at the Lyric Theater and Cultural Arts Center. After a 2-year break to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Arts Commission of Danville and Boyle County is returning to in-person theater. The first play up is a play written by local playwright Liz Orndorff called The Tipping Point. It follows the story of a young man who faces challenges and was written as a way to talk with students about their decision-making. The plays will happen for Boyle students at the Performing Arts Center at Boyle County Middle School and for Danville students at Gravely Hall, and a public performance for people at Centerworks. That performance is actually tonight at 7 o'clock at the Centerworks building on the top floor of the Hub in Danville. The first alcohol license in the city has been given out. The KC News is reporting the 5-star convenience store on Liberty's Wallace Wilkinson Boulevard was the first to receive a license for the sale of alcoholic beverages within the city of Liberty. The sale of alcohol from that place makes it the first time anyone has ever been able to legally sell alcohol within Casey County. The county had been dry and remained dry since Prohibition. The city of Liberty went wet following the November vote, where about 60% of the Liberty voters voted in favor of turning the city wet. I'm Joe Mathis.
This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
It's brought to you by Danville Auto Body Shop. Top-of-the-line collision and auto body repair. Head to the mechanics at 315 Delahaye Street. Call ahead for an appointment. 236-2299, 236-2299, Danville Auto Body Shop. You get sunshine, a high of 76, a low tonight 36. Tomorrow, sunshine, 50s a high. Saturday, 55, and Sunday, 60. Right now, it's 9:11 in the morning, 59 degrees right here in Danville. And we welcome on to the show Boyle County Judge Executive Trilly Bottom. Good morning, Judge. How are you?
Good morning, Joe. I'm doing just great. I love this weather. You mentioned the sunshine and the warm temperatures. I am loving it.
Yeah, far cry from what we had a week ago today, I believe is when it was, last Thursday, Judge, when we had just the massive amount of rain that we took on here in Boyle County, and there were multiple spots in the county that dealt with extremely high water. And that's probably a good place to start, Judge, since we talk with you once a month. That happened just last week. Tell us, Judge, about some of the flood damage that we did sustain in Boyle County, and for those maybe who did receive flood damage and did get that, what can they do?
Okay, well, Joe, it's 6 weeks on the job, and we've had a tornado and a flood.
Yep.
So I think I've got broken in pretty quickly here. Mm-hmm. The flood damage was countywide. It wasn't really restricted to one area of the county or the other. Forkland, sustained some severe flooding down there, and the community center had water, in the basement there. And there was lots of bridges that were impassable, lots of roads that were impassable due to flooding and debris that's in the road. The road department is still working to clean up the debris that on those roads down there, and they're working very hard and as quickly as they can to get that done. We also had, especially like down in the Elk Cave area, there was some severe flooding down there. It seems that the river down there has kind of changed its course due to some rock bed islands now that are in the middle of the river, and it's diverted the direction that the water goes, and so it's getting closer and closer to the bank side, the road side, and it's causing more severe flooding because it's closer to the road. So when we get those heavy rains and the downpour that we got last Thursday, it really makes a difference on that rolling water, getting out of its banks and then going over and across the road and flooding people's yards and homes. So I didn't really hear any home flooding, but if there are residents out there that did receive flooding in their homes, if they would call and let us know, because we're currently trying to assess if a FEMA claim is necessary. So we'd like to hear from any and all that had flood damage reports. I know there was some boat docks out on the Harrington Lake that have disappeared. So they were knocked loose from where they were tied up at, and they're gone. There was some boats that were sunk out there on Harrington, and so we're still assessing. Road department's still cleaning up, and we're just asking people to let us know if they had flood damage from last Thursday. Along with that, it took out some water lines that the Parksville Water District is on. So we had some customers on the Parksville Water District that were out of water for about 2.5 days. The construction company came in. They worked early in the morning to late at night to get those lines repaired, and as of Sunday afternoon, Monday morning, all the Parksville Water customers were back in business with a boil water advisory, which has now been lifted.
Good.
So anybody on the Parksville Water District, that boil water advisory has been lifted. And then yesterday we had some high winds that took down some trees out on 1108. So it's been an eventful few days since last Thursday.
Yeah, a lot to digest and take in. Going back to that Parksville boil water advisory, I know that there were some, I think, local businesses that stepped up and donated bottles of water, right, for those people out there.
Yes. Well, actually, the Boyle County Fire Department was instrumental in donating cases of water. Our emergency management director went out to Walmart, and they donated some cases of water, and we're very appreciative.
Yeah.
And there may have been others. I just didn't. I just didn't get the names. If it was in like Lowe's, I'm not sure they were going to Lowe's. I'm not sure if Lowe's did actually donate or not.
Yeah.
But we're thankful for the people that did, and to get that water down there so that those residents could have some safe drinking water.
Yeah, so, again, all boil water advisories have been lifted for Parksville Water District customers, and very appreciative of the great work that people in our county did, and making sure that those boil water advisories got away, lifted, and good to go now. Let's see. There's, in terms of severe weather, and we got a wind advisory right now. You had the tornadoes, I guess, was that last? Yeah, it was last month. I guess. Was that last month?
Yeah. January was tornado. February was flood.
Yeah, so we've got a way to be able to warn residents of incoming severe weather, of things, natural disasters, and this is called Civic Plus. Tell us how we can sign up for these alerts for Boyle County.
Okay, we have an alert system in place. It's called, it's called Civic Ready.
Civic Ready, okay.
If residents will go on to the Boyle County's website and go under departments, there is, under emergency management, it says alerts and notifications. And this is on the BoyleKY.gov website. So under that emergency alerts and notifications, it comes right up to Civic Ready. It gives you a step-by-step on how to sign up for that.
Okay.
And then you can have those notifications and those messages sent to your email or your cell phone or your home phone. So all you have to do is just click on the form, put in your information. They'll want your name, your address, what phone numbers you want notifications sent to, what email address you want notifications sent to, and then when there is an emergency situation, those alerts will go out to those numbers and those addresses, and you'll be notified of any kind of impending storms, tornadoes, flood watches, boil water advisories, anything like that will go out on our Civic Ready notification system.
Yeah. Now, there is a way to pinpoint location, right, where someone who maybe lives in Danville doesn't get updates of the Parksville Water Department or vice versa?
Right, yeah. It'll go out on the area that is under the notification warning. So if it's countywide, everybody's going to get them. If it's restricted to Parksville water customers, those people in that area that have signed up for it will get the notifications for that.
And again, you got to be signed up. They can't send you the messages if you don't sign up for it.
No, you have to sign up.
BoyleCountyKY.gov, and again, across the top of that website, in the top left, it says Alerts and Notifications, Civic Ready Sign Up. You click on that. I'm looking at it from a basic computer, but you can certainly do this from your mobile phone or tablet as well.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Sign up for those
and then
Civic Ready
you can
alerts.
pick and choose what alerts you want as well. Do you want tornado alerts? Do you want flood alerts? Do you want all the alerts, that are on there? You can pick and choose what you want notification for.
So there you go. Civic Ready Alerts, BoyleCountyKY.gov. Or with Boyle County Judge Executive Trilly Bottom. We'll step aside. We'll come back. A couple more things to discuss here in Boyle County. We talk with Judge Bottom the fourth Thursday of every month at 9:10. And we'll continue our conversation. Coming up right after this. It's 9:20 in the morning.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Nothing is more frustrating than clogged pipes, drains, and sinks. A plumber with the correct tools can make the repair so much easier and quicker. Royal Flush Plumbing can do camera inspections, saves tearing up your yard. They can find debris left behind and get it all out with their hot hydro-jetting equipment and Warthog root cutting head. It gets the job done when plunging or snicking a drain can't. Call Royal Flush owner Danny Lynn.
If you're looking for a plumber you can trust, Pick up the phone and call Roll Flush. 859-319-1286. 859-319-1286.
It's here. It's new. Filled with the best wide selection of vehicles just for you.
Right at Field User Factory.
7 acres of pre-owned elite inventory makes them the largest deal maker around.
Right at Field User Factory.
So come on down to Nicholsville off US 27 to Vince Drive. Then you've arrived at the new
Right at Field User Factory.
Buy with confidence straight from the factory. Take a virtual tour at
RightAtFieldUserFactory.com.
Hi, this is Jenny, local owner of the Danville Nutrition Center, and we are making room for new products by clearancing out overstocked items. Save 20 to 40% off on select vitamins, herbs, and health and beauty products. We currently have hundreds of sale items, but it's while supplies last, so stop by the Nutrition Center soon to save. We are conveniently located at 802 South 4th Street, Danville. Danville Nutrition Center, big enough to serve, small enough to care.
The Hometown Radio Network sports broadcast schedule brought to you by Monticello Bank. Girls District Championship action tonight in the 45th. It is DCA versus Danville. 7 o'clock tip-off tonight. A game we'll have on Z105, WRNZ-FM. In the 46th District Championship, it's Mercer County versus West Chessman. 7 o'clock tip-off for that one. We'll have it on 99.5 FM WHBN. Then the Boys District Championships are tomorrow. Mercer versus West in the 46th. Boyle versus Lincoln in the 45th. Those games also on the Hometown Radio Network.
Hey, it's me, Gus the Gopher for Atmos Energy. Being a gopher, I like to dig. That's what us gophers were born to do, along with eating plants, taunting groundskeepers, and listening to bluegrass music. And I especially enjoy digging around the yard. Occasionally, I bump into a utility line and I get a headache. Ouch! After all, they're hard to miss since they can be buried anywhere. But if you hit one with your shovel, backhoe, or ditch digger, you could cause a gas leak, disrupt service, or worse. Makes me shake in my paws just thinking about it. You can avoid all of this by calling 811 at least 3 business days before you or someone else digs in your yard to have those underground utility-owned lines marked. Calling 811 will help protect your property, and more importantly, you. It's free, and it's the law. You dig what I'm saying? For more on safe digging, visit atmosenergy.com/811.
Be prepared for what Mother Nature brings. Keep up to date with weather forecasts here every hour on WHIR.
9:23 in the morning, Thursday, February the 23rd, and we welcome onto the show Boyle County Judge Executive Trilly Bottom. We've been talking with Judge Bottom about the flood damage that the county sustained during last week's flooding, Boyle water advisories, which now have been lifted for Parksville Water District customers, and for those wanting emergency alerts sent to your phone or your email, cell phone, home phone, landline, or email, whatever it may be, BoyleCountyKY.gov, and sign up for Civic Ready Alerts. So you all, Judge Bottom, are still looking to hire some people in the county, particularly at the county jail. You're still looking for people to apply for those jobs, to hire in those jobs. We talked about that a little bit last month, but give us an update on that.
Okay, yes, the jailer, Brian Woodford, is still going through interviews and looking for employees. These employees are subject to the full benefit package that the county offers, which includes life insurance, health insurance, retirement. So anyone interested in working at the jail can email Jailer Woodford, and he would be glad to have some people interested in working out there.
Yeah, so again, you can apply. How do you get an application, Judge Bottom, and get information about that?
You can actually go on the website again, and under departments, you can click on the detention center, but you can also just get to the application online as well and just print that off. And you can come in, turn that in to the HR director up on the second floor of the courthouse, and then he can get that to the jailer, and interviews will come from that.
You've got some work going on the Buster Pike Bridge. This has been kind of a long time in the making, and that eventually will begin here soon. Tell us about that work and what residents in that area can expect with the Buster Pike Bridge.
Okay, so all the puzzle pieces have finally come together, and all parties are talking, and this is probably the biggest news that we've just gotten in this week. The South Buster Pike Road at the railroad bridge will be closing on March the 8th. So local traffic will no longer be able to use the South Buster Pike Road. There are 2 demolition dates. Once the bridge is closed, or once the road is closed, we'll put up barriers. We'll have reflective lines there for people to see, that the road is closed. They can't go through. Then there'll be 2 dates that the bridge will be taken down half on one day, and then about a week later they'll come back and take down the half. This is a major effort to do this because while this is going on, no trains can come through, and we know how many trains pass through the Danville station on a daily basis. So there are a lot of planning that has to be done before they can even say, we're going to take this bridge down. So we're going to go ahead and close the road on March the 8th. That'll be probably a week or so prior to the first half of the bridge coming down, give the community time to acclimate that the road is no longer open, and make other plans, to do how they need to get to school, how they need to get to work, be able to, figure out a new plan for that. So that is going to come down finally, and we are looking at probably 365 days before it will be reconstructed and finished and the road reopened.
Yeah, that was going to be the next question.
It's going to be a long process.
Yeah.
It's going to be an aggravating process, I know, for the community there that travel that road on a daily basis.
Yes.
So we want to go ahead and get the word out now. The road is not closed currently, but it will be closed on March the 8th.
Okay, and
so,
we're looking at a year timeline, so from March of 2023 potentially to March of 2024.
Potentially, yes. We're hoping that it will be done within that time period. It won't go over that time period, but you just never know. You never know what's going to happen. They're wanting to raise the track, I think, about 3 inches because it has settled down into the rocks, over the years. So there's going to have to be that part of it done, and then the bridge has to be a certain height. Once they get the track fixed how they want it, then the bridge has to be a certain height above the track in order for all the cars to go under the bridge. So it's a long, drawn-out process, but hopefully it will be done within a year's time.
We're with Boyle County Judge Executive Trilly Bottom. Trilly, if people have any questions for you about anything we've talked about, something maybe has popped up and they want to talk to maybe their magistrate or talk to you about it, how can they get in touch with you and the fiscal court magistrates?
Sure. All the magistrates are on the county website. They're listed there by district, and it has their name and their phone number and their email address. So you can just get onto the website, and the magistrates are happy to talk to any of their constituents about any problems or concerns, or just a pat on the back, well done for taking care of this. So they're happy to hear from the constituents in their districts. To reach me, you can call here at the office, 859-238-1100, and it's extension 118, so 859-238-1100, extension 118. And I've got 2 little things. If we have time, I've got 2 little things I want to mention before we get off the air, if we have time.
Yeah, go ahead.
You may have noticed at our last fiscal court meeting, our solid waste director, Angie Bunty, talked about a contraption called a Mad Vac.
Mm-hmm.
This is a large vacuum cleaner that picks up litter on the side of the road. So, with spring coming up, the litter pickup is going to start, and if the public sees this big contraption that looks like a space mobile out on the side of the road, that's what that is. It's called a Mad Vac, and it has a really huge hose on it that goes down the side of the road, and it just takes in all those cans and sacks and trash and everything, just like you would vacuum your home. It's kind of like a vacuum for the roadside. So we're proud of Angie for getting that through a grant. Also, you mentioned the little cherub sale on one of the breaks, and I will be working that sale, Joe. I've done that for the last 2 years now, and it is a wonderful opportunity and a fundraiser for various nonprofit organizations in our county and surrounding areas. So I encourage everyone to come out to that sale. It will be held on March the 3rd and the 4th. So I just want to throw out that and just let everybody know that I'll be out there on the 3rd, and just come see me, and we'll find you something that you can take home with you.
Boyle County Judge Executive Trilly Bottom. Trilly, appreciate you being on. And Judge Bottom is on every single fourth Thursday of the month, updating us on the happenings of Boyle County. And, of course, if any emergencies pop up, she is on during those emergencies, too, getting the information out. But in just typical everyday type months and situations, we have Judge Bottom on the fourth Thursday of every month. Judge, appreciate you being on. You have a great rest of this week, and we'll talk to you again in March, okay?
Joe, thank you so much.
Yes,
I appreciate the opportunity to be on here.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Judge Executive Trilly Bottom at the Boyle County Courthouse. Hey, it's 9:32 in the morning. Congressman James Comer is coming on here next. Represents Boyle County in the United States Congress, and we'll have James Comer on, our congressman, for the first time on the show. That'll be in just about 4 or 5 minutes.
Hello, this is Rosie the Skunk for Atmos Energy. You might think I make a bad smell. I mean, of course you do. Why wouldn't you? After all, I'm a skunk. But my stinky fragrance is nothing compared to the rotten egg smell of a gas leak, because that could be dangerous. So if you think you smell a leak or encounter other signs such as hearing a hissing or blowing sound or seeing a vapor cloud, blowing dirt or bubbling water, do not smoke, talk on the phone, turn on or off equipment or vehicles, or do anything that could cause a spark. Leave the area immediately. Then call 911 and Atmos Energy. Atmos Energy will send a trained technician to investigate the situation. Take it from a skunk. Gas leaks just plain stink. Seriously, there's no gray area here. When dealing with gas leaks, it's black and white. Yep, that's a little skunk humor there. For more information, visit atmosenergy.com/gas safety.
So creamy it melts in your mouth. Mom Blakeman's candy. Delicious flavors of family tradition. Old-fashioned candy since 61. Light, rich, creamy, made by hand. A southern treat, a Kentucky brand. Mom Blakeman's Candy.com. So creamy it melts in your mouth. Mom Blakeman's Candy.
Almost every small Kentucky town has a go-to restaurant. In Central Kentucky, it's the Bread of Life Cafe in Liberty. If you like a good buffet, you'll love the huge down-home cooking featuring 3 fully stocked buffet tables, or you can order off their extensive menu. You'll find something delicious for every person in the family at the Bread of Life Cafe. Visit the gift and sweet shop at the Bread of Life Cafe, 5 miles south of Liberty on Highway 127. Open till 8, Monday through Thursday, 9 Friday and Saturday. Feed your tummy and your soul with a stop at the Bread of Life Cafe and Buffet, 5 miles south of Liberty.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. And I prepared for this opportunity since this point last year. The Luck of the Irish is back at McDonald's of Danville and Harrodsburg. Yep, it is Shamrock Shake season for a limited time only. That limited time being right now, you can get the iconic McDonald's Shamrock Shake. And because everything is better with Oreos, the Oreo Shamrock McFlurry is back as well. Vanilla soft serve with a Shamrock flavor full of Oreo pieces. I can tell you to go get one, or you can make your own luck. Shamrock Shake season for a limited time only at McDonald's of Danville and Harrodsburg.
The This Joe Show weather report is brought to you by...
Hey, it's brought to you by our friends over at the Danville Auto Body Shop. Top-of-the-line collision and auto body repair. Head to the mechanics at 315 Delahaye Street. Call ahead for an appointment. 236-2299. 236-2299 Danville Auto Body Shop. Mostly sunny, high today 76. Low tonight of 36. Tomorrow mostly sunny, a high of 50. Saturday mostly cloudy, 55. Sunday mostly cloudy and 60 is your high. Right now it's 9:36 in the morning, and we are joined on the telephone by Congressman James Comer. Good morning, Congressman Comer. How are you?
I'm well. Good morning.
Yeah, appreciate you being on here this morning with us, Congressman. And you were in Danville last week meeting with some people, and glad to welcome you back onto the airwaves and talk with our constituents kind of on a wide basis. And before we hop into some topics of conversation today, Congressman Comer, introduce yourself to your Boyle County and Danville and Perryville and Junction City constituents. Let us know who you are, what you do, and you have a wide base of this state that you cover as a congressman. Give us all those details.
Well, first of all, I appreciate the opportunity to introduce myself on your radio show. I'm thrilled to get Boyle County in my congressional district. I don't need to remind anyone in Boyle County that Boyle County is always on the edge of redistricting. I know that not long ago, Boyle County was in the 6th district with Ben Chandler as a congressman. Then it was redistricted into the 2nd district with Brett Guthrie, and now it's been put in the 1st district with me. Again, my name's James Comer. I'm from Monroe County, Tompkinsville. I was in the state legislature in Frankfort for 11 years. Then I was Kentucky Commissioner of Agriculture for 4 years. Spent a lot of time in Boyle County. Boyle County is a tremendous agriculture county, great heritage for agriculture in the Danville area. And then for the past 6 years, I've been in Congress. This past year, well, in January, we started the new congressional lines. I was on the ballot in Boyle County in November and did really well there. I appreciate everyone's vote and support there. I started officially January the 2nd as your congressman. And, look forward to representing Boyle County. You are very correct. This is a big congressional district. It stretches from the Mississippi River all the way up to central Kentucky. But, it's a third of the state. It's a mainly rural county. So Danville is one of the biggest cities in my congressional district. And just look forward to getting to know people and representing them in Washington.
When we talk about this congressional district, and you heard Congressman Comer say, we're talking about the counties as far west as you can get. Counties like Fulton County, Carlisle County. I think Ballard County is down there as well. These are counties that this is a 3.5, 4 hour drive or so from one side of your district to the other. And so the first question I have, Congressman Comer, is the things that happen here in Boyle County and the things that impact us here in Boyle County. Is it any different than your constituents down in far southwestern Kentucky? Are the challenges for Kentuckians here in central Kentucky the same as the ones you see in southwestern Kentucky?
They really are. And you said 3 or 4 hours. It's probably 4 or 5 hours from east to west. But it's a rural district. It's a conservative district. Boyle County's different in that you have a very distinguished university there, or Center College. The same challenges. Every community has the same challenges, trying to create jobs. When you talk about Perryville and the smaller towns, they're very similar to the small communities in western Kentucky or where I live. I live in south central Kentucky. It's actually an Appalachian county, so in Monroe County. So very rural. It's always a challenge to keep your best and brightest when they graduate from high school, and whether or not they go to college or go straight into the workforce. It's always a challenge to try to get them to stay in those communities to prevent brain drain and people moving to the bigger cities. So I look forward to working with your economic development team, your local elected officials. I've met with your economic development team last year, and again, look forward to partnering with them anytime there's an effort to recruit an industry or an existing industry needs help from Washington. So it's pretty much the same. And I'd like to add the district goes on up to Frankfort. Franklin County, Anderson County, Marion, and a bunch of Central Kentucky counties in there as well.
Yeah, you were in Boyle County last week. I got to meet you very briefly. I shook your hand and then had to go pick my kids up from school. So you were here in Boyle County. You met with some constituents here. What did you talk about when you were here in Boyle County and Danville last week?
Well, mainly I was listening to see what the concerns were, see what was going on, what were people talking about, what were their biggest concerns about Washington. And obviously, people are concerned about our national security. They're concerned about, at that time, the balloons that were being shot down. They had a lot of questions about that, concerned about the southern border, concerned about inflation, concerned about corruption in government, as everyone should be. So these are the main issues that people in Boyle County were telling me about at that stop. But, I was on a 2-day swing through the district and actually started in Christian County in Hopkinsville at the ethanol plant there.
Whoa.
And honestly, the same concerns when I would stop in places like Hopkinsville and Elkton, and Franklin and Edmonton. It is the same concerns all over the district. And, I take those concerns back to Washington with me and try to vote with the majority of people in my district.
Some of the work you're doing in Washington right now, Congressman Comer, you are the chairman of the House Committee on Oversight and Accountability, and you all right now, that committee looking into, first of all, the billions of dollars that was used during the COVID-19 pandemic that was meant to go to positive things to help families out and companies out and businesses out that were struggling to be able to pay bills, to pay their employees. And you all are looking into how that money was spent, potential waste, fraud, and abuse in those pandemic programs. And I think, we all at this point have heard stories about companies, businesses, millionaires, maybe even billionaires that received COVID-19 pandemic funding. So tell us, Congressman Comer, how important is it for those lines of communication between government officials and what goes on in Washington to keep them accountable and what you all are investigating here, that you obviously take that very seriously, and that's very important to you to make sure that those who abuse this are held accountable?
Right, and I just started in January. The House flipped from Democrat to Republican. I'm obviously a Republican, so I was elected to be chairman of the House Oversight Committee.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, there hadn't been an oversight hearing on the COVID money, all the pandemic spending, and I think history will not be kind to Congress over spending that much money to begin with, but also with the amount that's going to go down in history as waste, fraud, and abuse. You're exactly right. There were tons and tons of reports of fraudsters getting PPP loans, foreign cyber attackers stealing identities in the United States and getting unemployment insurance funds from all 50 states, including Kentucky. You have reports of cities just completely spending their COVID money in areas where they had absolutely no business spending it. You just in the last few days received reports of some cities wanting to use that COVID money for reparation payments. I mean, nothing that the money was supposed to go to in many instances, it was being spent. You've got a lot of serious concerns. We want to try to claw some of this money back. In our first hearing, we determined that there was over $150 billion of unspent COVID funds out there. And you think about that. There was so much money allocated, the governments couldn't even spend it all. And when I say the government, the federal government, state government, local government. We want to claw that back because we're coming up on a debt ceiling issue here. The federal government's spending too much money. That's why we have inflation. Republican majority, we're trying to come up with some spending cuts. If we can find money that hasn't been spent that can be used to subsidize the cuts and not make it as painful on the American people, then we're going to do that. So we played a big role already in identifying money that can be better spent elsewhere. We also want to try to hold people accountable. We learned in our first hearing that the Small Business Administration, which administered the PPP loans, they didn't utilize a thing called the do not pay list, and that's something the IRS has for people who owe child support and who have been convicted of fraud and who owe back taxes. These people applied for PPP loans and got them. They never should have gotten those PPP loans because they owed money for child support or they had bankruptcy proceedings and different things like that. So lots of mistakes by the federal government, as you can imagine, when you spend that much money that quickly.
Congressman, how would you address and what would you say to people who would say something along the lines of, well, of course there were mistakes because we've never done something like this before. We've never been through a pandemic before. So there's going to be some loopholes that we can go back now and say, well, we can patch those loopholes up. This is obviously a way for you to make sure that public tax dollars are being spent the way they're supposed to be spent. So how would you address people who would say, well, it's not necessarily not a big deal, but of course there are some issues because we've never done this before?
Well, anytime the government deals with large sums of money, there's going to be waste, and I'm mindful of that.
Yeah.
We should try to hold that to a minimum. We should hold people accountable who knowingly made bad decisions with our federal tax dollars. But we can't continue to allow Congress to have knee-jerk reactions to crises. And there's two that come to my mind right off the bat, and that's the COVID and pandemic spending, and then the big bank bailouts. Both of those times, the Congress said, the administration came to Congress and said, we're at a fiscal cliff. We've got to do something. The economy's going to go into depression and all that. When that happens, there's no committee hearings. There's no debate. There are no amendments that can be offered. There's very few guardrails, and the obvious happens. You get massive amounts of waste, fraud, and abuse. The worst thing about the pandemic spending wasn't the first bill. It wasn't the first bill. It was the next three bills after that. The first bill was during the Trump administration, and there was a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse in that bill. But then the next three, the stimulus bills and the various COVID spending, pandemic spending bills in the Biden administration were not needed. They were not needed. They just ran up inflation and ran up our national debt, and it's just painful to see for somebody like me who considers himself a watchdog of the American taxpayer. It's just sickening to see the amount of waste. So the waste was in the last two administrations, both the Biden administration and Trump administration. But we can't continue to do this. I mean, $32 trillion in federal debt now that our children and grandchildren have to pay. Somebody's got to get the back of the American taxpayers, and I hope that I can play a role in doing that in Congress this year.
Congressman James Comer, the Boyle County congressman, and Congressman Comer, we have a quick commercial break coming up. Step aside, come back. I want to ask you as well. I know that the United States has given billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine for assistance against the war against Russia, and I know that there's some people requesting some transparency about that as well. So I want to ask you about that. We'll step aside, come back, and continue our conversation with Congressman James Comer right here on The Joe Show. It's 9:49 in the morning, and we are looking at 60 degrees right here on this Thursday morning in Danville.
Hi, this is Jenny, local owner of the Danville Nutrition Center, and we are making room for new products by clearancing out overstocked items. Save 20 to 40% off on select vitamins, herbs, and health and beauty products. We currently have hundreds of sale items, but it's while supplies last. So stop by the Nutrition Center soon to save. We are conveniently located at 802 South 4th Street, Danville. Danville Nutrition Center, big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Danville Christian Academy provides the type of schooling that appeals to many families. If it's something that appeals to your family, you probably already know the positive benefits of a faith-based school. But did you know that DCA's location north of Danville is only a few minutes away from Nicholasville, Wilmore, Harrodsburg, and Bergen? A quality faith-based education in a unique campus setting is closer to your home than you probably thought. Check them out at dcaky.org. Danville Christian Academy, engaging the truth, empowering the future.
Hi, this is Caraway. And Adeline. At Mattresses and More next door to Ace Hardware in Danville. If you are looking for new furniture or bedding, come check out our tax refund sale. New merchandise arriving weekly, and we sell off the floor. Get up to 35% off. We offer layaway and 12 months same as cash with approved credit. Come see Aunt Nana. You'll be glad you did.
Again, buy it today, take it home today. Living room suits, bedroom suits, dinette sets, recliners, and more. From Mattresses and More, Southland Plaza next to Ace Hardware.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, Cartown Kia has you covered. If you have a job taking home over $350 a week, we have over 20 lenders that want to approve you. So shop and save with confidence.
Take home a 2018 Kia Optima or a 2022 Kia Rio. Just $88 down and $299 per month.
Come see us at Cartown Kia and CartownKiaUSA.com.
Example, 2018 Kia Optima and 2022 Kia Rio. Only selected stock makes and models with approved credit. $88 payment, $299 per month, plus tax, title, license, stock, and acquisition fees. Subject to prior sale, law supplies last. Price may not include dealer-added options. See dealer for details.
Authentic Mexican grocery store, cakes, fresh produce, piñatas, boots, belts, and more. La Michoacana Mexican grocery store. Family owned and operated, offering the best Mexican products created. La Michoacana Mexican grocery store. And to make your tummy smile, Taco Yumas, the on-site food truck that's also available for catering and events. So where do you go for authentic Mexican product? La Michoacana Mexican grocery store. In Danville on Houstonville Road.
In the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, Cartown Kia has you covered. If you have a job taking home over $350 a week, we have over 20 lenders that want to approve you. So shop and save with confidence.
Take home a 2018 Kia Optima or a 2022 Kia Rio. Just $88 down and $299 per month.
Come see us at Cartown Kia and CartownKiaUSA.com.
Example, 2018 Kia Optima and 2022 Kia Rio. Only selected stock makes and models with approved credit. $88 payment, $299 per month, plus tax, title, license, stock, and acquisition fees. Subject to prior sale, law supplies last. Price may not include dealer-added options. See dealer for details.
At Linux of Danville, we work with more than just trucks. From floor mats for your hybrid vehicle, shelving and lights for your work van, and even a hitch for your SUV. At Linux of Danville, we work with all types of vehicles. No truck, no problem. Call us today, 59209-4033, or stop by at 935 Stanford Road and see how we can help you.
Going out of town or anywhere in the world? Stay in touch with WHIR on the internet at hometownlive.net. Powered by Kentucky WiMAX.
9:53 in the morning here on this Thursday, February the 23rd, right here on The Joe Show. 238-WHIR, 238-9447, the phone number to call in. That's the number that we have Congressman James Comer on this morning, and we appreciate Congressman Comer calling in, and we have talked already today about waste, fraud, and abuse in the COVID-19 pandemic-related payments and funds that were divvied out, and now Congressman Comer changing and turning our attention now to the United States and the aid giving to the country of Ukraine as they battle against Russia. And I know that Congress has appropriated over the last year, I think something like $113 billion to help the Ukraine as they battle Russia. And you can correct me if these numbers are wrong, but I'm looking at some of the other numbers given by countries. If that $113 billion is correct, that's about 20 times more than the second largest aid that was given by the second country, which is the United Kingdom, giving $5 billion, $113 billion appropriated to Ukraine. Congressman Comer, tell us about that.
Well, it's just too much, I'll be honest, and this is where I disagree with a lot of my colleagues in Congress. It bothers me. I think we've given Ukraine a blank check. As chairman of the Oversight Committee, I've stepped up my efforts to request a full accounting of that money. The Biden administration came back and attacked me from the White House podium and said that they have given us a full accounting. Their accounting said they spent 75% of it on munitions and 25% on humanitarian aid. That's not my definition of an accounting, and I don't think any American taxpayer would buy that. Ukraine has a reputation of not being the most ethical country on the planet. Their reputation for corruption precedes itself. Now, look, I'm for Ukraine against Russia, but Europe should be paying for a big part of this bill, and they're not. The United States is. And every time we've been in the nation building business in my lifetime, it hasn't ended well for us. Look at what we did in Iraq and Afghanistan. Neither one of those countries would come to our aid today if we needed it. In fact, they're probably enemies of the United States now because of who's taken over those countries. So I'm a big critic of spending tax dollars in Ukraine. I'm going to continue to voice my concern and opposition for this. I'm going to continue to demand a full accounting of where this money is going. And, we'll see if it's going to continue to be an uphill battle. I think that we've got more important needs here at home. I'm more concerned about our southern border right now than I am the Ukrainian border. But it is a concern, the Ukrainian border. And I think that there are some things that we should be doing to help Ukraine in their fight against Russia. But if the European countries aren't going to step up, I don't know why the United States taxpayer has to foot the entire bill.
Yeah, so you said there's some things we should be doing to help Ukraine. You said you obviously are pro-Ukraine, but you believe the amount of money committed is way too much. Is there any amount of money that you think, is there a certain number you say, hey, we need to donate or we need to help out with this much? Is there a line that you would draw and say, I think we need to give this much?
Yeah, I think we could use some of our weapons down there. I think we could send some weapons down there with supervision and allow Ukraine to use those weapons. But we're giving Ukraine a blank check and trusting Ukraine, which, again, doesn't have the best reputation when it comes to spending American foreign aid money. So I'm just not satisfied at all. It bothers me because I think the biggest concern right now from a foreign policy standpoint would be the threat of China invading Taiwan. And we're being stretched thin with our tax dollars on the Ukraine-Russia border. Again, if President Biden wanted to show some leadership on the foreign stage, he should do what the first President Bush did during the Gulf War, and he got every nation together to financially support the war when Iraq invaded Kuwait. But what we have here was President Biden is just the United States taxpayer paying all the bills. Now, the other countries are saying, yeah, that's great. Some of the European countries, we support you. But they haven't stepped up to the plate. And their national security is a greater risk by Russia invading Ukraine than our national security. Our national security is more concerned about what could happen with respect to Taiwan. And then at the top of the list would be securing our southern border. I just can't imagine spending so much American tax dollars protecting the Ukrainian border when our southern border is wide open and fentanyl pouring across that border every day. It makes no sense to me.
With Congressman James Comer. Congressman Comer, appreciate you being on this morning. If people have any questions for you or your office, what's the best way that someone can get in touch with you?
Yes, I'm going to pull up this phone number. I should have it right. I'll give you the district office number is 270-487-9509. That's 270-487-9509. You can Google Congressman James Comer. Our number in Washington, D.C. Will pop up. So we'll have a field representative that'll be a presence in Danville, and hopefully people will be able to reach out, and anything we can do to help, we'll definitely do that.
Yes, sir. Congressman James Comer. Congressman, appreciate you being on and to taking time out of your day to talk to the great people here in Danville and Boyle County, and to hope to have you on again in the future, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Bye. That's Congressman James Comer right here on the Joe Show. There's that sad music again. That means my time has come to an end right here on WHIR Danville News Talk Sports. Until then, God bless. Have a great, fun, and safe Thursday afternoon as Curtis McPeak's Home Sweet Home leads us home sweet home. Kentucky Sports Radio is coming up next.